Hey, we're live. Technically, we're early because I kept pushing the time, but we're actually late by about
All right.
20 minutes, and it's going to be
Yeah.
a little bit of a shortened time because it's been a holiday weekend and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
exhausted after it all.
Well,
So you've got
sorry.
explaining to do. Owen Rogers is, he's almost dead from waiting.
I know. Sorry for keeping everyone from going, but I don't know if anyone out there is a welder. I technically don't call myself a welder, but I'm a welder. Like I don't line weld. What we do at my shop is like all custom stuff, but the owner of the building complex that I am in came up to me at like 5:30 and said, "Hey, I need some emergency repair real quick." And it's all galvanized to normal mild steel stuff that I had to weld. And for anyone that's a welder knows welding galvanized is like the worst thing you can do.
Yep.
And so I have all my PPE and I have a nice respirator and I have a fan exhaust that's sucking the smoke out, but you still get whiffs of it. You just can't do anything about it. But back in the old days, they used to tell you could drink a cup of milk afterwards or just keep on drinking milk and it would help with the nausea. But I came home and I was just like, yep, feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like and so it's
Not
like
good.
no, and so it was a combination of that. And then my neighbor bought me lunch, which is awesome. And he bought we have a fish house in town, and I don't eat fish, but he bought me like some kind of shrimp, like something that was breaded and all
Something
that.
fishy.
Yeah, so I ate that, and then on top of being nauseous from welding, I was like, "Oh, this isn't a good idea." like right before I came down, I was like, "I better go see the bathroom before I come." So
Yeah.
TMI, but I was trying not to.
Driving the porcelain bus, they used to say,
Yeah.
right?
Oh man. Yeah, it was brutal, but I think I can hold it down.
All right.
I
If
think I can
not,
hold it down.
let me know and I'll hide your screen.
Yeah, I know. As I'm throwing up in my garbage can over
Yeah,
here.
if you just go about 1.5 feet to the side, you'll be good.
I'll hit my mute button so you can't hear Ralph.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about several things. We'll be talking about your St. Jude walk that you've started.
Yeah.
And you got donations going on that already, which is cool. And we're just into the month by 5 days, so plenty of
Yeah.
time that we can help you reach your goal.
Sure.
Which is very attainable, I think.
I think so.
Especially 25% in already.
Yes.
And we're
Yeah.
not 25% through the month yet, so that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
And we haven't, I mean, I just started pushing content out of it. So
Yep.
once people start seeing what we're doing, it'll make more sense. So
We'll talk a little bit about the 4S lineup. That's the dad joke line. Happy 4S of July because of ARRMA. That's what we titled it. You may not know that. It's been a last minute kind of a day. We both kind of forgot that it was Tuesday because of the 4th of July weekend extra day we got.
Yep.
So, yeah. How did you guys, first of all, we see Ryan's in there, Owen's in there, Molds RC's, RC for All, Shiki RC and Gaming, Rogers Racing, Chainsaw. What did you guys do for the 4th? Anything with RC?
Mm.
Did you do anything with RC for the 4th?
Come on, man. IRC like
I
every
saw
day.
you're going to do every day. Yeah. That was my throw to you to explain it. I knew you did.
Yeah, I actually.
Why you gotta be like that? Make me look stupid.
Well, I'm just saying. So yes, so we started our St. Jude walk hike, which we went on a hike that was 1,000 feet of elevation gain and 1.5 miles, and we turned this 2.6 mile hike into a 5.7.
Dang, you're getting the miles in quick.
Yeah, and we did it just by like hitting all the different rock lines that we found on the way up there. So
how are you tracking them? The miles you're doing
on my watch okay. To my phone. So it actually. So what's cool is that I don't know if you saw that story that I did. It was the path of what my walk was, and then I tilted it, and then it showed how it was just like wow, 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 wow,
back and forth all over crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could track it that way.
But your phone does all that.
Yeah.
Through the Apple.
No, well, the Apple phone would, or the Apple Watch would do that. But I'm cheap. I bought my wife the Apple Watch, and I got just a Amazon
But it
little
does
bit.
it?
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
it's pretty sweet. So, and all trails will do it too. So it'll track your GPS motion wherever you're at. So, um, but yeah, so we went up that, and some of the like the trails, if you've seen any of the YouTube video, you'd see that the trails aren't like wide open trails. They're straight rocks and
Yeah, your
roots.
son was like, "This is cool." And it was like all rocks going up. And I'm like,
Yeah. So it was pretty rad, man. And then so we did that. We got that one was 5.7. And then yesterday we're like, let's hit it. Let's just go to one near us. And it's just a quick one. And so we did 1.8, which was all behind a crawler. So we took I took a different one. I took the Grinch one out.
yeah. Now
And
you're going to
so
be doing some element RC. You have a ready to run that you're going to be running in this, or no?
yeah. So it hasn't got here yet. So I just all
Okay,
our cars that we're running are Element right now for the
right.
crawlers anyway. They're just custom. But
So you're gonna
yeah,
have to put
so
in 30 extra miles just so that car has 30 miles on it and can
I
say it did
know,
30.
I know. I messaged my guy and I was like, "Hey man, I don't want to have to do 30 miles in 2 weeks in this Element truck." So, so that'd be quite the hike. But yeah, no. So that's the idea. Is hopefully it'll get here soon this week. I think it will.
Okay.
And
People are
then
asking where they can donate. The only way to do it is through the Instagram app
yeah,
that I'm finding.
yeah.
So if you want to donate,
Uh,
you
so
can do it through the Instagram app. I'm about to post a link, but you have to
okay,
be on a phone to do this.
okay. So the other thing, I actually have it registered through Facebook also, but it's through my personal Facebook page. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to just re-register under a page.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll let me do that or not. Um, but you can do it through Facebook also. That's originally how it's supposed to be done. But I was like, I don't do Facebook. Everyone sees me on Instagram anyway. So, but yeah, you could donate straight through there. My goal is to raise
It's
a
now
thousand.
pinned. It's now pinned to the top in the chat if you want to try
Nice.
to go there. If you're on a phone, you can do it there.
Yep. Thank you
Yep.
very much. Yeah, so my goal is to reach $1,000 for St. Jude. What's cool, the reason why I chose to donate this way is because I don't have to touch any of the money. It literally, you click
Goes
the
right
link
to them.
and it goes right to them. Yeah, through Instagram.
Nice.
Um, so here's the
Because
idea.
Papa Pablo may be wanting to line his pockets a little
Yeah,
if it
exactly.
were coming direct to him.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey man, so yeah, but
There's your 1,000. I made 2,000, but I was only gonna give 1,000. So
I gotta tax
yay
this just a
me.
little bit. Yeah.
Hey
So
Jeff.
the goal is 1,000. We're at 250-ish, 240 something right now.
That's a good start.
It is. So here's what's red. So for the people that don't know, if you donate more than once, you get so say you donate $5, right? Thank you. That's awesome. You could donate if you saw a video that I did in the next month, you could wanted to donate again. That gets your hat or your name into a hat twice. So if you donate more,
Not a different month because you're gonna be done at the end of this month, right?
yeah, just at this
So
month, like
different
so.
day. Yeah.
Yep. So if you donate once a day, $1 a day or whatever, however
So
you
I
want
could
to
do
do
like
it,
$100, but do it in increments of $1.
exactly, and then you get that many. So it shows how many and who put
Don't do that,
who.
people. It
I
doesn't
know,
help. It
right?
doesn't help your odds that great.
It doesn't. But so what happens is at the end of this whole thing, we're basically going to take all the names, put them in a hat, do a drawing, and whoever is the drawing winner gets the RTR that we ran the miles with, gets a set of spec wheels with the
Nice.
RTR, a set of Boom Racing tires, a pit mat from RC Raceworks. Andre from Scale Metal Supplies is throwing in some stuff like axle trusses, SOA, that kind of stuff
Nice. Yeah, because he makes
for
them for the element, which is awesome.
exactly. So he's sending some of that, and then you've been awesome and donated a mini mighty chupacabra tool. I forgot what you call them. So
Mighty handy tool.
yeah. So
I
That's
like your name better.
Mini Mighty Chupacabra.
Yeah.
So that is a ton of stuff, man.
Have I sent that to you already? Or am I
No,
sending it direct to the person?
I would rather you send it direct to the person.
Okay.
That
I
way I don't.
remember that I offered that.
Yeah, that way I don't have to touch anything. Like, yeah, because if I touch it, it's like it'll sit on my desk and I will forget, and that's the way life is for me. So
Shiki RC and Gaming is trying to make an Instagram now. So I
nice.
can help out. You should do that. Reaction RC just created one too.
Yep, and I've been liking and following his stuff, so he's got some cool stuff brewing. It looks like.
So Rogers RC Racing is working on an SMP 10, wants more power and torque out of it. 3S would be my recommendation, like a Castle 4600 kV is all you need to do probably, and it's pretty crazy on that on 3S.
That's massive.
Huh?
That's massive.
Yeah. But if you do, I mean, they're just the little short course motors, but
Yeah.
that's what I run in them. It's like a little green can.
Yep.
They're like $130 with the ESC. It's the Sidewinder 3.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome little combo to just stick in there.
I would say I would also add if you have a small area and you're not going for like huge air and lots of speed, you're just doing fun little stuff. That's what we do here. I run the Holmes Hobbies 8-turn brushed motor, the Trailmaster Sport.
Is that
Or
the
no,
one that you smoked?
that's one of them. Yes. But I am very hard on that. And here's the thing, it's a $20 motor. So it's a $20 motor.
Oh, he's shaming me with the cost part.
And a
I see where
1080
that is.
a 1080 ESC with all the linearity that you can handle.
Are you rubbing it in my face that you get all of that 8-turn motor for $20 and my baby
All of it.
Goliath costs $20? Is that what you're doing to me?
No, that's apples to oranges, my friend. But no, sadly, no, man, no. But it's a decent little setup for me and the kids, and it's got a monster amount of torque on 3S. But yes, you do risk the chance of smoking the motor. So.
Nice shirt, by the way. Little plug. You can get those at the CCXRC Teespring.
There you go.
Mine is totally wore out. I wore it too much.
I know. I have a couple of mine that are getting that way too, and I'm like, ooh. Rough.
Matthew Copeland tried out some new RC boats. I'm jealous. I wanted to get my RC boats out this weekend.
Yeah.
I did not.
Apparently, my dad traded something, and I saw it on the wall at his house, and he knows nothing about RC boats. And it's like a 4-foot long Traxxas 6S boat, I think. It's an older one.
Like a Spartan or
maybe
Spartacus? I don't
know. I don't know. But I was like, dude, just let me take that home and I'll figure it out for you and we'll go put it in the lake. We live like
Spartan.
Quarter of a, not even quarter
36-inch Spartan brushless boat.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty rad. Pretty rad. So I want to get that up and running for him.
It's not a catamaran, is it?
No, it's like a cigarette boat.
Yeah, like the Spartan VXL 6S.
Yeah, so I want to get that down and look at it. And then we bought him a pro boat for Christmas.
boat, man. You need to get that in the water.
I know. And I want to take.
I was looking at them. I was looking at the pro boats.
Yeah,
they've got those new pro boats with the cool like heat wave livery
and man,
the shreddy or whatever that guy is.
Yeah.
I just can't decide which livery I want, and I probably already missed the free heat wave glasses if you order them. There's like 200 come with the first 200 ordered.
I like the
now
shreddy.
Ordered two.
I like the shreddy version, the pink and blue.
They would stand out like wicked cool.
Oh yeah. Imagine the cool drone side push shot you could get, dolly shot. Oh, it'd be rad.
Shiki says, I finished a few videos, got high, and watched some fireworks. We did some fireworks at our place.
Yeah, you did.
We had fun with them. And I only did like the little one because I didn't want to waste it. It wasn't dark enough yet. I had to, there's that like fine line between like being light enough to film.
Yeah.
And still see stuff exploding. And then like when you actually really want to do the fireworks.
Yeah.
And we were already pushing the darkness.
Yep.
which was very evident in some of that. It's hard to slow motion because the
It
shutter
goes like
speeds were,
that.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And I was
Yeah.
like trying to untape all those Roman candles and tape new ones. And this, so what happened was my vortex, I like did that test and I should have listened. It sounded really like really
Yeah.
high pitched. The mesh was off and I smoked the spur gear.
Oh,
Just
no.
smoked it on the first one.
Yeah.
So I was gonna switch to the black Big Rock, but then I'm like, I have to get another GoPro mount, clean the whole body down. Like
Oh, yeah.
that wouldn't mount well to it.
Sure.
So I'm like, these are easy.
Just
Pull
click them
one
out.
screw. There's one screw on the bottom. Slide that little red plate out and just pull the whole assembly out.
Yep.
Shove it in the new one. I was
Yep.
back up in like 5 minutes. It was awesome. So I just
That's
literally took the whole motor, and assembly from the
y
Big Rock and shoved it in the vortex and kept running. So
that's awesome.
yeah, and that one, no problem. So
Yeah.
yeah, that one was probably my fault because after I got the vortex, I blew the motor up on it, and so I bought one, and so then that mesh was on me
Was that
for
the one
setting it.
before the granite, or was that the one after the granite?
No, it's the newest one in the 3S
Okay.
lineup. It has like AVC and everything too, which
Okay.
is good, except it made your steering rates aren't adjustable easily because it's now an AVC lever.
Yeah.
So I was limited on steering, which really sucked when I wanted to just quickly turn it around and get back to
Yeah.
the jump. It made it a little tricky, but
I
I love
noticed
that car, man. That
I
car is
noticed that
fun.
you got to a point where you realized, maybe you knew this, but where you realized if I make a left turn and a right turn, it won't be shooting back at us on the camera.
Well, no, I had to do left turns all the time because it turned sharper left. So whenever I
Oh,
could,
okay.
I was trying to turn left, and it was like, sorry. So I knew like I really wanted to do it off my jumps, but
Yeah.
like when you turn, then it's shooting at the houses, and it's kind of like, Well, we did the first one, and those Roman candles were lame, and I didn't
Yeah.
realize it. So then I put the like another pack on, not intentionally, but because the other ones were far away, and it's like, oh,
Sure.
here's a pack. I'll just open them and stick them on. It was a different
Yeah.
brand, and those ones were a lot more lively with the
Yeah.
popping and the sparkling and the banging and the firepower that they loaded into them. So that's when I found I was like, oh, these are totally safe. I can take this on the sidetrack. Well, then I
Yeah.
did it for the first time. I was like, no, at the very end, because I heard my neighbor outside laughing at me. And
He's
then I
like,
realized I'm like, I don't want him to see me shooting these at his house. So I just finally just like stopped it and let it just do the last couple shots off
yeah.
because I didn't want to turn and like send him toward his house or him.
I was waiting for a backflip. I was like, come on, Tony.
Yeah, it was just like trying to keep it lined up, and
Yeah.
it was just kind of like, oh, there was a lot of nerves going on. but
That's awesome.
I was also trying to time it so that it would actually fire in the air, which was so hard.
Yeah.
So like I'm slowing down, waiting because I just had a fire, and then trying to speed up, and it was interesting.
And they're never like consistent. It's not
No,
like
that was the
3
problem.
seconds, 3 seconds. It never works that way. They're all over the place.
Hey, RC Guy Garage, he's one of the guys that has the 4S vehicles, and he has been
Sweet.
killing it with that thing. He has been out there just, he had, so there was an issue with them when they first came out. There's some pin or something that the drive shaft, and apparently they fixed it for the production models, which is I think part of the delay. But yeah, so he had an issue with that, and I think that RC Driver had that issue too.
Oh no.
But he's fixed his up, got it running again. So basically, a pin comes out, and the rear assembly, at least his came apart. But man, we'll talk about that in a minute. Those 4S vehicles look awesome.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, it's only $100 more. Get the 6S. I'll talk about reasons why I think yes and no to that. But there's because of the simplicity of that swap I did with the 3S for the fireworks.
Yeah.
And not having that center diff. Like for ease of maintenance, it's definitely, so it's not, they don't make every RC for all of us. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, there's a market for it. And
4S is a ton of power, man.
It's a lot of power. But if you still wanted to be kind of like still newer beginner, but like easy to work on.
Yeah.
a little bit bigger size. So there's a little bit more of that heft to it. I mean, they just look so plush when they land.
What's
It's
the
insane.
wheelbase? So I like that idea of those rigs, and I'm wondering what the wheelbase is on something like that because it seems like, man, I really want to say that 4S could almost be used for U4 racing if you put the right wheels on it. I'm sure it's got a 17 millimeter hex.
So one of the things that we liked about the 4S when they first came out with the original ones was there isn't a center diff, which was for monster trucks
Right.
what was kind of like what allowed you to run them in
Right.
like the independent suspension class.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you were saying, and it kind of threw me off because you got me thinking about that, but I don't
Well,
remember
no,
where you were
no,
going.
the depending on what the dimensions are, it could fit
Oh
into
yeah,
a
the
U4
U4.
class.
Yeah.
And because you have to run scale tires, but I'm sure it's 17 millimeter hex, so you could figure that out. I have a set of custom ones, but yeah, that'd be rad, man. Because those, oh man, if I could run, I love my Nomad. Don't get me wrong, but like we talked about, it's kind of an antiquated platform. It's getting harder to
Hmm.
find parts. But like an arm, I know those ARRMAs are super strong,
Yeah.
and the U4 racing just is so hard on vehicles that it would be a good test for something like that.
So the overall that I've seen, they've been sending them and like for the most part doing really well with them.
Hmm.
So RC Guy Garage took his to Diamond Dust, which is like this really fine sand, awesome pit of like hills and sand and dirt and just awesomeness. But he ended up like smoking his motor there. Like he
Oh
literally like
no!
cooked it, destroyed the bearings, but he took it all apart, fixed it, like literally took the motor apart, put new bearings in
Oh
and all
wow!
that out. And he's still been like, testing. They're not like shielded, like sealed bearings and all that. So I
Sure.
think that's what he put in when he did it. Quickly to the comments, XJ Sport 95. I still have your stuff sitting here right in front of me. And we just need to meet up for a couple reasons, man. I'm afraid to like text you because I know you're a new dad, and I remember my wife when I would try to like sneak away to do fun stuff. It's not
Uh-huh.
an
There's diapers to be
easy
changed.
do, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been meaning to text you. In fact, this whole weekend I want to get some of the big cars out. 4th of July, we literally fixed like 6 cars. My son and I just
Nice.
sat down and cranked them out. The Vortex being one of them,
Yeah.
which was literally just the screw that would back out of the hub.
Mm.
All that, they have those little things that go wrong with anything, but that's one of the things that plagued that
Oh,
car, the 3S lineup, that screw into the hub.
I am
And
fighting one right now that is just driving me crazy, and I walked away from it. Yeah, on my Element, it's. I know what it is, but you know where your drive line goes on to the output shaft on your 3-gear transmission for a
mhm.
crawler. I took the screw out. Well, first the screw stripped, so I had to drill it out. Drilled it out, popped the pin through, and the thing still won't come off of it. I tried heating it up to melt the Loctite, and I still can't get it off. And I'm just like, oh, like come on! And I don't want to have to take the whole tranny out and vice it up and try to like pop it out. It's just a pain in that butt. And it's something so simple, right? It's like, why don't you work the way you're supposed to right now? But it's just the way it happens, man.
Mm. They're all talking about their Jeff Walter saying they had $3,000 worth of fireworks at their place. Awesome show. That's
Oh,
insane.
dude, there's a video on my YouTube. I think it's of the first like COVID lockdown year, but my neighborhood did not stop. And our neighborhood is a war zone. I mean, you walk through
Now,
right
are they
now.
legal there?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah.
So you walk through and there's just like mortar shells everywhere on the street still. And they literally will drive, the street cleaners will come through on Friday
You clean
and
up all the debris and all that. Yeah, because
yeah.
stuff's everywhere.
Oh, dude, it is
See, I wanted
so
to do it in the
crazy.
backyard, but then I'm like, I don't want all that raining down on the boats that are
Yeah.
all docked here. So
Yeah.
we have
Yep.
such a big front yard. We ended up doing the front yard.
Yeah.
Mr. 1998 Jeep Cherokee blew up $1,500 in fireworks. Dang, it's
Wow.
so funny when like we had some of them. I like the boxes that have like
Yeah, the bricks.
50 shells in them or
Yeah.
whatever that I'll just fire at like 500 grams or whatever,
Yeah.
and they just go nuts. So, but like one of them I did, it's like 23 rounds or whatever, but it was doing like 4s and 3s at a time. I'm like, that $70 went so fast, like stupid. Like I was like,
We have casinos out here, like tribal casinos,
yeah, same here.
and we get to go every now and then. And it's funny because I'll just hang out with my wife and have a drink while she's gambling. She's like, "How much can I gamble?" I'm like, "Whatever, do whatever." And she's like, "Aren't you going to do it?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." She's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because yours will last half an hour. Whatever, it'll last longer than that." And I was like, "Yours will last that long. I can buy RC parts. I can buy just other toy stuff, and it'll last me much
Yep.
longer than that." And she's the same way. I feel the same about fireworks. I used to be all about it and just
Yeah.
go all in, but now my neighborhood's such a war zone that it's like I can just sit there and watch them on the deck. Like I couldn't have
Yeah.
fun. So
Yeah, we couldn't see anybody else's, so I texted my neighbor and was like, "Hey, we're gonna let ours go," because we did ours the night before for video purposes.
mm,
The weather also didn't look good
mm,
on the 4th, and my neighbor was flying out on
mm,
the 4th, so I was like, "Hey, so you can watch, and we'll just light them off tonight."
that's cool.
But yeah, people talking about the toughness of the 8 scale truggies. 4S rock race. Jeff Brown says my Rift on 3S 2200 8 scale is nuts. Yeah, the Rift is a nuts beast.
Are they talking about the 8 scale buggy of the ARRMA line, or what are they talking about?
Yeah,
Or 8 scale in general?
I think in general. I mean, a lot of those are tough trucks
Yeah,
because most of them are made up. They have metal chassis and all that, which the 4S doesn't have. It's plastic.
Oh,
So for
interesting.
$100 more, you get a center diff, you get a metal chassis, a little bit bigger metal uprates for your shocks and all that. So, yeah. Ronnie Creason asked if I'm gonna M2C out my 8S Outcast. It only adds half a pound. I don't have plans to. I haven't bent my 8S Outcast yet, so yeah. If I start bending stuff, then yes, I have the M2C on my Typhon, but that's it.
Is that the metal chassis or
All
the?
metal upgrades. Yeah, they've got
Oh,
so many
that's
good ones. Yeah.
nice.
So I'll have to talk to you, Alex. He says that he'll maybe this weekend.
Right on.
Sweet.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, the
Now,
smoke. That's the crazy thing is the smell.
oh, I think
That's what Dirk said. He's like, man, I was watching your video and then smelling all the smoke coming in through my garage door when he's working on his RCs.
yeah,
Like crazy,
we
right?
actually had an air advisory because we got stagnant air today at in our region, and our air index went up to 126, and it showed the big cloud of like yellow over where
Dang.
we live from
All
all
the
the
fireworks are just
dude
hanging around.
dude it was like so we actually so okay, so here's a little story about what happened last year. So last year we all our neighbors get together and we have it's like block party or whatever, and we all have kids, and we have all have like the four of us have kids that are like 10 and under, and then one of them or two of them have some that are a little over that. And we were doing fireworks in the middle of the street, and one of the mortar shells, we were all piled up in my driveway
Yeah.
like grandstand style, and
Yeah.
one of the mortars in the street exploded on ground level,
Oh,
and it all came our direction. So it was like my son was like one kid got, how they have like little balls that shoot
yeah.
out.
The
One kid
secondary ones.
one kid got hit on the neck and it bounced off of him, and I mean, it was like just straight on right at us. And so my son was like, I don't know if I want to do that this year. And I was like, I get it. So we ended up going to dinner and a movie and then coming home and watching the
Did you see
fireworks.
Minions?
We did.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hear it's amazing. No? Not hilarious?
It
Did you like Rabbids, the show on
I don't.
Netflix? Rabbids?
No, I don't think I
They're
saw that
basically
one.
like minions. There's no talking, like no words. They
Oh
just
yeah, is
make
that the one with
noises.
like the grub worm and all that kind of thing, or the
No, they
slug?
look like kind of zombie rabbits. kind of.
Oh, I
They're
think my
kind of
son.
rabbit looking. They're
Yeah.
hilarious.
No, so I like the minions, but I think this one jumped the shark.
Gru's
And
the best part. If he's not in enough,
yeah, well, and my wife was like, "Well, when you get to like the sixth generation of a movie," and I was like, "Yeah." I mean, it was still funny. The kids loved it, but I think I was just kind of over it, and I was
yeah.
tired.
I
So
love dumb stuff. Like the rabbits to me was just hysterical when my kids would watch it. I was like, I'm in.
yeah,
Hold on, don't
yeah.
start without me. Let me get some popcorn. I just want to laugh at them. They're like, and like smashing into each other and stuff.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
I have something interesting actually that came in finally.
Oh yes. I for.
Finally,
Oh yes.
brass axles for the SCX-24.
Are they on your site yet? I haven't looked. I
They
saw.
are.
Okay.
They're $70, but here's the cool thing: they come with the brass diff covers already
Ooh,
logoed. I mean, that's like $30. So you're basically paying $20 per axles
nice.
plus the diff covers. Because people are buying the diff covers already. I think they're like $14. You know,
So I'm
so
laughing because you remind me of my sister. When my sister was younger, selling Girl Scout cookies, I'd be like, "How much
only
for a?"
peanut butter. I don't want anything but peanut butter.
I go, "How much is a box?" She goes, $5, four for 20. Like it was some kind of deal. Like she'd
Yeah.
say it like it was some kind of. I was like,
Well, I mean, 70 seems like a lot, but I remember I paid
I
for
don't
my
think so.
first ones $50 per axle for the hot
Yeah,
racing.
yeah.
And they didn't have diff covers. They were literally just the casings of the axles.
And these are brass,
But
right?
these are brass and they come with the
Yes.
covers and blocking the light here if I can.
Good luck.
There,
Yeah.
wrong way. So brass. They
Sick.
fit, the fitment is good. And so these have been 4 months in the making. So I remembered that I was watching Mofo RC and he came out with the new really cool portals,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't work with any metal axles because all the metal axles put the bolt patterns on the top and bottom of the axle
Oh, right, right.
instead of being stock and being on the sides. I think to save material
Okay.
because by going outward this way, then they have to add more material that they cut away. So I think that's why they did it. Was a savings for them on the size of material that they used. So I went into making these a long time ago and just basically having it designed to be like the stock axles, but then also brass because
Mhm.
most people were doing aluminum.
Right.
And everything for me is about the weight, down low, unsprung weight with these little cars.
Yep.
And so during that time, though, Mofo did come out with his own, and he did the same thing. He went through a different company, I guess, and
Mhm.
designs and all that. But the fitment on these is awesome. It took me about an hour to swap everything over because basically changing out axles, worm
Yeah.
gears, putting in, all new. I did the brass steering links. I did brass knuckles on it. I switched everything on it when I did
Yeah.
it. So it was a little bit of extra work, but
How does it feel?
ran into no issues. Everything fit. It's like it's heavy.
Yeah.
So, but it's all low weight,
Yeah.
which is great for these. But
Yeah.
yeah, still running my Mofo servo. The black label servo on here is awesome. I know I have my Honey Badger, but his is an awesome servo. It's already in here. I'm not going to change it.
Sure.
It's better. It's a more expensive servo, but it's a better servo. But yeah, he's got
That's
awesome
right.
stuff, man. But yeah, so those are available. I wasn't trying to copy him or anything. I had my own stuff working for a long time, but it
So
took him a long time because we tested them and all that to make sure that everything fit once they were done and everything's good.
I was just reading through the comments. Someone asked if it's 70 for front and back, and the answer
Hmm.
is yes.
Yes, everything. You get both and the diff covers
That's awesome.
for
Now,
that.
are there going to be any that you're going to break apart and do
I
singles?
probably will do some singles for
Okay.
people because I
Okay.
know that they're going to want the fronts to do rear steer,
Yeah, that's what I want to
which is
try.
going to be I'm going to take a total hit on that. I'll probably, because I won't sell the rears. Like, who's going to just buy the rear of those
Yeah.
ones where people buy the front? So I'm probably going to have to change the price a little bit on it to
I was gonna say,
make the one be like the front axle be like $40 and the rear axle be $30. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and not an even split.
right. I was gonna say, oh, I could just buy 2 sets and but I would still need a third front for
Yeah.
my kid's axle. So,
So in the future, I'll probably, since I have this design made now, I will probably
mhm,
just have them make sets that are single, like just a bunch of fronts.
yeah,
Because that's what people are going to buy. If they're going to buy one-off stuff, it's going to be front, front
yeah.
axles.
You
And I
should
don't
put
know if I'll do
together
the diff covers for them or not, because at that point, I just
yeah.
have them do the case.
I was gonna say you should do a SKU that's like not a complete like you would build like not that you would assemble them, but like an axle that comes with the knuckles, your links, your servo mount, like the deluxe, the
Oh yeah, for
CCX
everything, get a
Cadillac,
discount on it.
or yeah, or just get it all in one shot. Just be like, boom, I want this setup.
It's super easy, Dirk. He's complaining about having. So he actually got a special edition version.
Mm.
I had a few of them made special edition that are brass colored.
Oh yeah,
So,
gold.
yeah, they're gold. So he got one of the Willy Wonka versions.
Nice. The golden
He got a
ticket.
golden ticket. Yeah, RC
That's
for all.
cool.
It's 70 for front and rear with diff covers.
Jeff says I'm making a trip out. I told him if I made a trip out, I'd sleep in your RV without you knowing.
You should do it, man. For Gauntlet, if you're free that weekend.
Yeah. Yep.
I might have even some Delta miles. We'll
Oh,
talk. We'll
yeah.
talk.
That would be awesome. Well, then I've also been I've been planting seeds with a couple of my guys for helping out that comp. So
Yeah.
I talked to Element and I talked to Scale Metal Supplies.
It's a
So
pretty big, like, so when I went back and looked at footage from it, and then I looked at footage from like Axial Fest
mhm,
is huge. It's like 2 or 3 times bigger,
sure.
but it's huge. There's a lot of people that showed up for Gauntlet last year. And if
Yeah.
it's bigger this year, it's going to
Yeah.
be insane, man.
That's cool.
Um, so, and we're going to be doing like, he's going to be doing the Friday night rock racing thing, which they call Purgatory.
Okay.
We'll have a SCX24 thing, which has a cool new sponsor we won't talk about yet, because I'll let Jeff kind of work on some of that. We got a big sponsor for the 24 scale stuff.
Nice.
But we're still working on, I've been talking with some people about the track layout and options for the track. And there's
Mhm.
possibly a really cool thing we might be working up for that.
Cool.
So yeah. And I'll
That's
have stuff
awesome.
there to, for giveaways, like sponsor stuff for the winners and all that.
Right on.
Um,
That's rad, man. Very
yeah.
exciting. Yeah, I think
So
something like that would be rad.
it's gonna be a big event, and Walter RC Park is an awesome place.
Yeah.
You bring on-road stuff, and not on-road, but they've got dirt oval, and they've got
Oh,
off-road
that's cool.
buggy, and they've got bash area, and yeah.
That's
And I've
rad.
got all that stuff. So if you can't fly with it all, I might have an RC or two. It's always the funny thing when I meet people or something at something that's like, oh yeah, hobby shop.
Yeah.
You got some of these? I'm like, I got a couple.
I know. I know.
I don't ever let on. Like, I'm just like, I got a few.
That's the worst too
It's
when a
not my
kid comes.
first rodeo.
Yeah, when the kids come up to you and be like, "How many RCs do you have?" My neighbor asked me that the other day. How many
Wait, did
RCs do
Owen
you have?
already order the axles?
I thought he said he did. He said
Owen
he
ordered
came
some
today.
axles. He deserved the Willy Wonka editions.
Ah,
We'll make it right, Owen.
Black market's in
He's
the
coming up.
house.
He'll be up in this area. I'll make it right in person.
There you go. Whoa.
I
Take it
don't have
easy,
to pay
Jimmy.
shipping. But they're doing, actually, so Walter RC Park is doing July 22nd, 23rd. Yeah, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. I always hate when I get the dates wrong. 22nd, 23rd, 24th, they're doing a camp
Oh,
and crawl event there.
that's cool.
So in July, there's like a 3-day just hang out. You can bring your campers up, camp. Michigan
Yeah.
people are really cool, dude. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great state. Like, so I thought I'm gonna go on my little thing here because when
Okay.
I was moving from Virginia,
Let me sit back for this.
here get a drink or something. When I was moving, like we were in Virginia, I was trying to tell my kids like about summer and all that. And I'm like, I started to get to the point where I'm like, am I like just overthinking how awesome my childhood was and how great summer was
Mm,
and all of these things? Like it was so magical. Every summer was magical. And they weren't in Virginia. They sucked. It was like the worst time of year from like
yeah.
April till October, end of October.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Yeah.
And it's like, am I like I'm trying to tell them about being on my bike all summer and just riding wherever I wanted to go and hanging out at the mill pond, like down the
Yeah.
street. Man, it's been every bit of it since we moved back to Michigan. Like
That's cool.
summer here is something else. It is
Yeah.
unreal in this state. It's been perfect.
That's
Like
awesome.
70s and 80s, all like it's
Yeah.
insane. The weather's been so good. But yeah,
Ours just changed too. And
we're trolls, black market. We live under the bridge, so we're considered trolls here in Michigan. The Yoopers call us trolls. We live under the bridge.
yeah. We our weather just changed too. And I looked at our 10-day and it's like mid 70s, low 80s for the next 10 days. And I'm like, but it's cool in the
Yep.
evening, which
Yep.
is nice. Like the other morning, Friday morning, I did a podcast with O Canada, and I went in early to the shop, and it was like 55 degrees and
Wow.
crisp, and but like blue skies. And then it got up to like 78 that day. It was awesome. Love that kind of weather. Says I'm sitting in a hotel in Indianapolis. Love hearing the Michigan love. He raised it to everybody. Nothing better. Fellow troll here. Brent Action.
Yeah. I mean, it's something. We just had friends in town, and we were out on the boat and all that, and they're from Virginia and
Ah,
fishing and whatever, and they're just like, this is insane. Like 78 degrees.
yeah,
The water's like the same temperature as the air. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, it's not blistering hot. It's not stupid humid.
How did
It's wicked good. We went bike riding tonight we went 5 miles on
nice?
our mountain bikes today.
How'd the catfish do overnight in your cooler?
Died.
Did it?
Perfect.
Perfect.
We filleted it with a knife that Jeff
Put it
got
on
me.
ice.
My
Nice.
I had to unbend it. My mother-in-law tried to cut in by the head to come around and stuck it, and like I'm like, ah. So I'm
Oh,
like over there, like with the knife, like straightening it back out, which it did. It straightened out great. I'm like, son of a.
you're like,
But
really?
no, yeah. So we filleted that thing. It's in the freezer. We got a bunch of
Nice.
fish fillets from the catfish. So my son caught a 29-inch, 6 pound, 6.5 pounds. So anywhere from like 5 is good, 5 and under for these channel cats, whatever. But 6, I mean, 5 to 8 is okay if like you have to. But anything above 8, you're like, it's gonna start being like gamey and worry about the chemicals and stuff. But yeah, so it's in that like it's safe, but
Chemicals. What kind of
yeah, man.
chemicals?
It's a river, dude. Everybody dumps crap in the river. Mercury and all this crap.
Speaking of awesome Michigan stuff.
Yeah. I was reading about like the portion sizes you can have for fish before you have to worry about different poisons
Oh,
over poisoning yourself.
yuck.
The California people, we know you guys have perfect weather all the time. Don't even
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I know you've got you're magical all the time.
Yeah,
4th of July was 78. Amazing. Oh, Cali's usually 105 plus. Dang.
yeah. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Wow. Dude, it was like, so we have a pontoon boat now. Tri-tune, technically. That's what they
Oh.
call it. But yeah. And
Plus one.
I hit a few things on the way. Like, so we were going upriver. My wife wanted to go upriver instead of out toward the lake. And
Were you like, do you know how much fuel is right now? You want to
I
go up?
know.
Like,
Well, we were
come
just
on.
cruising. We were going slow. So we weren't like, I waste more just doing donuts out here with the kids on a tube, like in
Yeah.
a half-mile area because of just ramping the
Yeah.
motor up and down.
Yeah.
So we were just slow cruising like 12 miles an hour so I can check depth because it's like It's sketchy lower here right now. 1 foot waters and like
Oh wow.
running aground on stuff. Yeah, happened a couple times. We ran aground.
Do you have stumps in your lake, in your river?
It's a river. There's trees down and stuff. One guy hit something good. I heard a conk on his motor going by.
That's
Ours
the
has a few
worst.
dings in it already.
The prop does, yeah.
Yeah, the prop. But yeah. So we found this awesome spot. It was like 2 feet deep, 3 feet deep, but all sand, like sandbar.
Ooh, nice.
And we just like tied a bunch of inner tubes to the boat and just hung out for hours.
That's cool.
So yeah, it was good. Good 4th of July.
That's awesome. I missed out on they have party at the park at Die Hard, like we were talking about. And I don't remember what we did on Saturday, but something was going on Saturday. So we didn't, did I go on the hike Saturday? Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. I went hiking on Saturday. So I didn't go down there, and they were doing turf. They were supposed to do turf on Sunday,
Yeah.
but the weather was looking questionable. So they did turf on Saturday. So I missed it. And then they were supposed to do dirt on Sunday, and it rained, like drizzled all day, which was bizarre. And then and then they had, just the party out there on 4th of July. And it's like,
Yeah.
I wanted to go, but I'm going to have to wait. I think they're doing dirt this coming weekend. So I might try to get out there and do some dirt stuff. We'll see.
Jeff Walter says he'll try his best out in the woods, on the trails, ready for camp and crawl. Haven't got the mini excavator yet from my neighbor.
Nice.
I had to come over there. I got a John Deere with a little bucket and a little backhoe.
Nice.
Yeah, the Grand is full of crap right now. He says there's so much from like some of the stuff, trees and debris coming down. But cleanliness wise, it's not terrible at the moment. They've been working on cleaning it up. I get you the gifts, Tony. You need to bend them all up. I did not bend anything up. I unbent them. So there's that. I unbent the gifts because I was like,
come on, Mom.
I was watching. I'm like, what the?
Okay, here's something.
Not a fillet. That's not what you do with a fillet knife.
Here's something weird. Do you call? I've struggled with this. Do you call your in-laws mom and dad?
No, I call them by their names.
Yeah. Have you heard people call their in-laws by mom and dad?
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Yeah.
I think it's weird. Like, I respect mine like my mom and dad. And maybe I just call them by their names, or I just say, hey, you. But like, I
would use their names. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's awkward when I use their names too. I'm like, what is this? Is it okay? Okay.
Yeah.
I've always wondered about that.
Well, when they live with you and you have to call them all the time, you use their names. Everybody uses names except the kids call them grandma and granddad, but everybody else uses names.
Yeah. See, and
my wife calls them mom and dad, but
yeah, and
everybody else uses names. So the three of us use names for everybody.
Yep. And so, see, my stepdad, I call him Ed. He's always been Ed to me because he came, like, they got married when I was like 14.
Okay.
I think, but he's been like he's my dad. So I refer to him as my dad when I talk to just people in general. But I always call him Ed. So my kids call him Papa Ed, which is funny. And I'm like, that's odd. But yeah, I've never gotten the calling your in-laws by mom or dad. But
yeah,
maybe that's just me. Off topic.
Yep. There's been a lot of off topic. We were talking about the boating and
ARRMA
stuff for a while here in Michigan being awesome.
Can you pull up any of that ARRMA stuff?
ARRMA, yes, I actually have it set up. And at your page here, which is looking pretty fancy with your cool graphics. So if you guys do want to make a donation, if you click on that middle one right here, this 30 miles in 31 days challenge, it has it. Or if you just go to my profile on your phone, I have it. I don't know if you know that you can do that, but it's added on my profile.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
To link in.
Thank you.
To make a donation to it. So it's not easy on a computer. So if I go here, I can't actually do anything. But if you're on your phone, clicking here would allow you to click on and go to.
I didn't know you couldn't do it from the computer.
Nope. It says open the app.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. Here
Ooh.
is the Creighton. That is the bigger, tougher plusher, which is one of the things that I taught that they all of the people I've seen review it talk about is how plush it is.
So it's 16% to 17% more plush.
Did you watch that RC Guy Garage video?
I just
16
saw.
to 17%. Oh my gosh, so funny. So funny. I was like literally in stitches as he was doing all the 16 to 17% things. If you had 16 to 17% more of this, wouldn't that be better? So
Does it give wheelbase dimensions and track width dimensions?
I'm sure it does in the details. We can look at it. I do know that it has metal diffs now, like the
Ooh,
internals and all that, which is awesome.
yeah.
I'm trying to see if we can just look at some of the photos here. So still the same kind of modular design, which is, I think, the selling point for it.
Yeah.
So it's $100 cheaper, which some people think isn't enough. It's literally like in the middle kind of the two, like 370, 80 of a Vortex or whatever, 350 for the others. It's almost midpoint. It's a little more. It's bigger. It's got metal shocks. It's got quite a few extras and upgrades that makes it probably better that it leans a little bit higher. But it does question like, well, why wouldn't you just get the 6S?
Sure.
What would be your reasons for getting a 4S over a 6S?
For me, the batteries, I don't like doubling. I wouldn't want to take that many batteries out
Yep.
because I would double them up and it'd be a management issue. The other thing is, I agree. So, like I said, I've talked about my granite that I have that I don't
Yep.
run very often. I love the simplicity of that, right?
Yeah.
It's super simple, it's super durable. I have not played with this type of vehicle before. And I think the 4S is for someone like me that I have 4S's or I have a bunch of 2S's.
Yeah.
So I can stack the 2S and the 2.
I just hate stacking anything. It's just
I
kind of a pain, and there's
Right.
something about the charging of the double. Like I don't know, it
Yeah.
bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
Other people it doesn't, but you can buy a 4S battery, or you can buy a full size 6S battery if you want. But it becomes
Right.
a cost thing, and so it's not just the cost of the vehicle; it's then cost of battery. And if you're in a
Right.
hobby shop and you're seeing this, and then you're looking at the sticker price of batteries,
Yeah.
you may not know that you can go to Amazon and buy batteries for cheap.
Right.
And you don't know what you're getting quality wise, but a lot of people have good success with them.
Sure.
But the cost there is lower.
Well, yeah,
The
and
repair costs are lower because you don't have a center diff. You've just got the slipper, and
yeah.
everything's so easy, like you said, to work on in this whole modular design.
Well,
It
and
can get a little grimy and a little difficult, and I literally use needle nose pliers into the honeycomb,
yeah,
stick it
totally.
in there, and pull forward on
Yep. Yep.
the modular this thing,
Well, and what I was going to
and it
say is
comes
that
right out.
this is probably not someone's entry level. I mean, it can be at the price point, but it's probably not someone's first RC. And odds are they're probably going to have a 2S pack somewhere or a 3S pack and from something, and they could run two 2S's. They could probably still run that on 3S if they
You'd be
didn't.
surprised first timers though.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like
I could see people first timing this, especially if the hobby shop pushes it. Hey, for a little bit more, look at how much bigger this is.
Sure. No, and I would totally agree with that. Just like for me though, like this wouldn't be my first one.
Yeah.
Um, and this would be something that I would be more apt to getting into. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan on are the plastic, and I don't know how this works for this type of vehicle. I'm assuming just on my assumptions are the plastic shock caps.
Yeah.
Because this one gets set, I would send this one and I would think that those would bust apart
Yeah.
eventually. Now I know ARRMA is super strong. I know that, and my shocks never blew apart. But the granite's a little smaller than this.
I'm hoping because they're big bore, there's more bite for the teeth.
Right.
Because I know with the slashes and stuff like that,
Yep.
like they'll have plastic, metal with plastic caps, and it just blows the caps.
Right.
Even the sledge had plastic caps, and that was a 6S vehicle.
Yeah.
and people were blowing the caps off them.
Yep.
But this is not a $900 vehicle either, so it's just like
Sure.
I don't know. That's one of the nicer things when you upgrade.
I like
You
those
can get
wheels.
the wheels look really good.
They do.
If they're the same as the last ones, I think there are 2 version. I don't know, but the last ones are really good. I really liked the 4S before.
Yeah.
Some people didn't. I thought it was much more plush than my Max and drove a whole lot better for my 4S
I,
Creighton.
I actually really like that teal color too.
I do like the teal a lot.
Like it looks pretty neat. Like I dig it.
It's this piece right here that they were having some issue with, and it's been redone
Okay.
apparently, because this little sleeve would slip off, and then your pin would come out, and
Mm.
this would come apart.
Hmm.
So I don't know the design change that they've made, but there's been something done to remedy this issue that some of the influencers were having with the
That's pretty rad.
yep. So
How
you froze or I froze?
Whoa. You
Who
there?
froze? You or me? One of us froze.
I've it just all of a sudden just froze together.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So
so
yeah,
what I was asking is how big is that in comparison to a granite?
it's much bigger. It's
Much
almost the
bigger?
size of the 6S. So we'll look at the size of it here. People have done comparisons. 120 MPSC,
Yeah.
3668, 2400 kV, big long can here, 4S motor, heat sink. But they have pictures of it next to the full size, and it's not much smaller.
Really?
Yep. So I was trying to get a size on it for you, the specs. Where would they be? Maybe up here with this? No.
I bet you it's one of those tabs at the
Longer
top.
chassis, 21.4 inches, 0.74. So only a half, 3/4 of an inch longer, and it's wider. So it's almost 2 inches wider than the previous 4S. So it's 17.7 or 17.7 inches wide.
So when they take that measurement, is that to the outside of the wheel or is that to the wheel nut?
It's a good question.
These
I'm
are the
going to
questions
guess
that
it's outside of the wheel, but that would be weird because if you do different offsets, it changes.
right. This is what keeps me up at night when I'm trying to figure out what to race with. I'm like,
Well, do you sleep well?
well, I do.
Let me see if they have the
I
Creighton.
like the smaller Limitless or whatever it was that came out too. That
Yeah,
one
that
looks
looks really
good.
cool too. I'll see if somebody has a comparison. That's the old one. Here, Forest V2. Look at that on
Oh
top of
yeah.
the other one.
Oh
See how
wow.
close that is?
It is
This is
close.
JT's video. I'm not gonna
There it
it's
is.
super close. But it's definitely smaller. You can see just the girth of the body. It's just a little bit and that's even this body's raised up off of here,
Right.
and it still seems a lot smaller than that. But 17 millimeter hexes, which is awesome now.
Yeah.
Some cool improvements, but yeah,
Very cool.
I think let's see what the comments are saying if people are talking about. I've never broke an ARRMA shock cap. You know what I have the problem with is the 3S, the bottom pulling off. And so that's what was wrong with my big rock. I literally took the shock off and just pushed it back together. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Because they're it's got that ribbing on it. It's just locked right back on. So
So let's see here.
Pablo needs a cheat code chassis. It's Matt Harris.
All right. I'll give it a whirl.
Dirk says that he's starting a new build that I'm now being blamed for because of the new axles.
Swampers RC says first names with my in-laws. Thanks, Psycho Garage. Said as a good video, and the rig that I'm running is killer. Thank you. That's my Lazarus build.
Yes, I love that build.
It was actually pretty capable. Dude,
Yeah, it
that
was really wide. I was shocked at how wide the tires were.
yeah. That well, I have it on like 875 spacers, like
Uh,
uh just to make it massive. But yeah, that thing I was really surprised. That was the first trail run that I've taken that thing on. And
yeah,
we did that almost 6 miles with it and it held
no
together.
brakes. Wow.
Yeah, it held
And
together.
the body did all right.
Yeah. Yeah, no brakes on the body. Um
Some of those rocks look tricky.
Bro, they were a lot bigger in person. Like
I was like, dang, his son's excited about this trail. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna break stuff here.
I know. And that's what I kept on telling him. I was like, here's the deal. I was like, if you break something driving crazy, you're carrying your truck out. If you
Yeah,
break something just doing it right and having fun, then I'll carry your truck out. So
yeah.
he's like, okay. So but yeah,
Frank Noggle says Forest Creighton was my first RC. It was a good one.
that's sweet.
Swamper says first name with in-laws.
So did they make
Yep,
an outcast too in for us?
they did.
Let's
Do
see
you
that.
want? Do you guys want to know something? I don't know if I can say it or not.
Say it. Say it. Which one is the outcast? I don't even remember. Is that the truck looking like one?
Yeah, super awesome.
Yeah, see, I like that one.
Hope so.
That's the one I would go for. ARRMA, if you're listening, that's the one I would try.
Yeah. Well, they sent me one
Mm,
to
yes.
Virginia.
How do they still have your old address? You're like, actually, I live in Washington now.
So that's how I know about the
oh, that blue one looks
the little
sick.
piece. Yeah, the copper. I hope that's an improvement over. So I used to call the other one Mr. Hanky. So they had that brown one. It looked like Mr. Hanky to me. Like
yeah,
this looks
yeah,
more copper,
yeah.
light brown. The other
Yeah.
one definitely had like
This is my jam, Tony.
a poo brown look to me. And so
Yeah.
I'm really liking this new color, this copper.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they call it.
Copper.
It looks copper,
Bronze.
bronze. But yeah, I'm liking that a lot.
It's like brown
Both
mica
the colors,
metallic.
I think, look really good.
Yeah, pull up the blue one. I want to see the blue one.
All right,
Come
do
on.
everything you want to do.
I know. Come on. Come
Oh
on.
wait, I gotta just click on the blue. I think there it is.
Ooh.
It's a sharp blue. That's what RC Driver got.
Ooh, that's nice.
It looks really good. Wait, what do they call this? Does it say bronze? They do call it bronze. It said right up there, really big.
Very
I was
simple.
calling it copper. So I'm hoping it looks more this color and less this color right here with his mouse is spinning.
Bronze
More of
number
this,
2.
less of this.
Yeah.
Because this could be trick lighting and
Yeah. Super white balance.
But the blue looks really good for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a fan of the wood panel, but I do
it's
like
a theme. You know, it's a Woody safety.
I guess.
Do you guys play that game as
No.
kids?
No.
Where if there's a wood panel car, you'd yell Woody and then safety, and you'd punch people until they yelled safety.
Oh, in college we would fart and say a doorknob.
Yeah, same thing, but it was
then you
Woody.
have to, yeah.
We also play Padiddle here, which is something somebody caught in one of the videos that I just posted with the minis that had a light out.
Uh-huh.
If one of the two headlights are out, you yell Padiddle and hit the roof.
You guys
of
are
the
weird.
car.
We'd just say beer me.
Dude, there's so many cars here with headlights out. It's insane. Like in Virginia, like the game was the most boring thing you've ever played. But in Michigan, 1 in 10 cars have a headlight out. It's insane.
We'd say beer me when we hit the roof.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, so it is actually a game. If you look up Padiddle, it's something, but it was more of like a.
Is it sanctioned? Like, is there?
I'm going to read the rules of it,
Oh.
like what it was, where it was founded, because Padiddle is a car with one headlight out. A padunk is a car with the taillight out.
Wow.
Official rules for the game of Padiddle from Angel Fire. Dang, this is old school.
Yeah, it is. Look at that old website.
You have to call Padiddle, but we always had to punch the ceiling is how we always played it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like this game from a movie or something. Like, what was the origin?
I think that's what you should do since you hate lighting on your RCs. You should just cut the wire on one of your headlights so it's only got one headlight all the time. I think that's what you should do.
Yeah. The word was used in a comic strip. When a car goes by with one headlight, if I say padiddle, you have to give me a kiss.
Wow.
It caught on in the Pennsylvania area, it became a flirting game, and then it became something to do on a long trip for boys. That didn't involve kissing each other.
I was like, okay, all right,
Kiss, a
Tony.
slap, and a padiddle. So apparently there's a whole bunch of different rules. We just counted points, and you had to yell it, and you had to hit the ceiling first of the car.
My son plays Jeeps, rat rods, and hot rods.
Yeah.
And so whenever we're in the car, we have a tally of whoever gets to 10 first wins. And it's vicious. It is vicious. I'm looking in my rear view, in my side mirror all the time. Like, come on, where are they at? Where are they at?
Yeah.
Oh, Psycho Garage. Good point. He said, did you guys see the new LGRP tires coming soon? They have them on their site listed as coming soon.
You guys spend so much money on your tiny truck tires. I don't even know where to begin talking about this.
They're like shoes.
I don't know where to begin.
They're like shoes. They're like shoes. Come on.
So my favorite tire, regardless of what people say,
it's a terrible tire
and want me to do, is the RC 4-wheel drive scramblers.
It's a tire for people that play padiddle.
No,
that padiddle with each other.
It's a great tire. Definitely better than the LGRP Series 1 tire.
No.
Which is all right. But it's second to these Trail Warriors from Power Hobby. But I still don't like the width of them. I prefer my very narrow scrambler tires. And I haven't even put mine with those cheater, whatever those anti-foam things are.
Psycho Garage says, so Tony wants to talk about spending money.
I don't. I got yelled at today for that by my wife.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. No. I had a very spendy day.
Oh, no. See, I still haven't tried these yet. I'm still getting ready to do my 124th build. I'm trying to think of a new body for it. These are the ones that look like the KLR tires.
Yeah.
I want to do a CCX RC tribute car, but I'm trying to find a good body. I can't find a good body for it. I might have to 3D print a body, but I don't want to 3D print a body.
Well, you could 3D print a body and send it to me, and I can vacuum form it for you. And then I would just start selling it as something and not tell anybody.
That's totally fine. Yeah. So the problem that I have is I want to make a long wheelbase.
And so nobody would buy that body. So there goes that.
Well, it would still be like the right size for like the Jeep, probably. Okay. But my wheelbase would be just outside of that. So I was looking at my wheelbase and the deadbolt. So I got those links, a link kit. And I don't know if I just read this wrong. Where are they? I think they're up here somewhere. But the deadbolt links are not much longer. They're like the same length as the long wheelbase kit that I just got. Here it is. Yeah. 133 millimeters. Is that long?
Wow.
It doesn't seem that long. Ooh,
yeah.
Hey.
What?
Hey. What do you got there, Tony?
I was just showing these new links I have.
Oh. Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
So one of the cool things that Furatech is doing is hybrid links. So these are deadbolt rears with C10 fronts. High clearance as a kit.
Yes, that's what I was trying to go for. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So trying to block the sun of my light. But yeah.
I like that.
So they've also got flat skid plates now too, brass.
Ooh.
Everybody's getting the weight on.
I'm trying to take down some weight, man. Yeah, I weighed myself this morning and I was like, I hope this walk does something good for me. I'm cutting out pop and we're not eating fast food during the week. And I'm going to try to walk 40 miles. but that's
Nice.
just saying. But hopefully we can drop a few lbs.
Yep. That's what I'm working on. We're mountain biking,
Nice.
the boys and I. So, yeah.
So what's this chassis you got in your hands there, Tony?
Grasshopper.
Ooh.
The magnet's already installed.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
fancy.
Pure Tech Grasshopper.
That is fancy. I like the jeweled edge on that.
Yeah, they go the extra mile with it. People don't realize it.
Yeah.
Because it makes one more step. You know, they got to cut it again after they color it. So
Right.
it's definitely another machining step. But they're trying to make their stuff stand out, and I think it looks awesome.
Looks pretty rad.
So I need to build that, but I need to build one of my scythes first. One of the black and red ones. That's a crazy. Like I don't have time.
I know.
Dude, I'm a pop guy, black market. Although my kids keep catching me saying soda.
I don't know if I care. Like, not to, I mean, what I say. Like, I don't know if I say pop or soda.
You just said pop. You said you're cutting out pop.
Okay.
My kids, like, you know, they heard us say pop in Virginia, and we try to teach them to say pop, even though we're in soda land.
You're like, no.
When we finally moved to Michigan, and it actually says up on like when you're going down Meijer or
It
Walmart,
is pop, not soda.
Pop, right up on the sign. It really is called pop here. They also have Clearly Canadian here, which is awesome, but it's like $3 a bottle.
Oh,
insane.
Wow.
That stuff used to be my jam when I was a kid.
They have New York Seltzer there. Remember New York?
No, but my favorite brewery, Brewdog, out of Scotland, who now is out of Columbus for American distribution.
Okay.
Has a New York Seltzer
beer
drink. It's like what are those, White Claws?
Oh,
but New York Seltzer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you
those
got to
are the
wear
old school, those old little glass bottles.
Yeah.
So bummer is I used to order by mail. You can't order by mail in Michigan.
Really?
Nope. They have some kind of a thing where they're protecting Founders Brewery, I think.
So if it was like
but you could probably order it by mail from Brewdog.
New
York Seltzer, go to their website. It's like,
so if it's like a White Claw, does that mean you have to wear like a red, white, and blue bikini and like big glasses while you drink it?
Dude, I went to a Thrice concert.
I don't even know who Thrice is.
You don't know who Thrice is?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Is that country?
No.
Are we going down this route again?
Emo.
Tony? I'm definitely not emo.
Yeah, nope. It's like a mix of emo, punkish, just good rock and roll music. But the whole freaking, so I went with this guy, you know, everybody in the crowd is like 30 plus. We got beards, you know.
I was going to say 12.
Because they were like early 2000s, like when I was in college. Okay. But we went like, they're playing the whole VNSU or whatever the name of it, the album is. They're like from beginning to end, like just doing the whole album as a concert.
Yeah.
Awesome show.
Creative.
And well, nobody ever does that, right? So it's cool. It's like, and it was in order, so it was wicked. Yeah. So I'm like, am I seeing this? Like, is the mosh pit fueled by White Claw? Everybody in the mosh pits got White Claws in their hands, and I'm like when this used to be PBR, man. Like, what are you guys doing? This isn't like a rock show. What?
Yeah.
White Claw. A bunch of grown dudes sweating and smashing into each other drinking White Claw. I got nothing against White Claw.
No. The last hard concert I went to
was hilarious.
Was a Metal Fest. I don't know what they called it here. But they had, who did they have? Avenged Sevenfold was there.
Oh, okay.
They had Slipknot.
Those guys are nuts.
Godsmack. So we walked.
Slipknot drumming is just unreal.
Bro, have you seen those videos of him on the kit? Like, and the kit's doing this and stuff. So my stepdad and I grew up listening to metal, and So it was my stepdad and me, a bunch of my friends. This is probably just out of college, maybe. Maybe we were in college. I don't know. It's like, I don't remember when it was, like early mid 2000s. And we went to this concert, and my buddy walked out with like shredded clothes, skinned up knee. My stepdad lacerated his spleen, and I fractured my kneecap in the pit. It was my stepdad. He's like a auto like
I don't
body
know what
man
to say
kind of guy.
about that.
Like, and he would, I mean, it would be
I
the kind of
don't,
thing where
I
like
don't
we're
even
just
know.
throwing clubs around and like for like, oh man, yeah. And I used to play football, and so it was like I would just, oh, it was so much fun. Yeah, it was pretty hardcore.
That's some stuff right there. So I
Yeah.
mainly went to all the punk shows and stuff, but yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
Good Charlotte and Green Day and all that kind of stuff. That was
Frank
my
Noggle goes, I knew you were gonna say Sevenfold.
yep.
Yeah. I've been there a few times. I've seen them a couple times. There's have you ever heard of the Showbox out here?
Uh-uh.
It's a famous venue. Um, they played the Showbox, and it's like a smaller, I don't know how many people fit in there, but it's like a smaller venue where a bunch of people like got their start from.
Yeah.
And they played there, and oh my goodness, that was another one that my stepdad and his friend were there, and they did the one where they part the seas, and then they drop and you all go running in. And
Just smash into each other.
I had a red, back in the day, like a Fred Durst hat on. And my stepdad's friend said, all I saw was this red cap going back and forth and back and forth. I was like, yeah. So, probably didn't make many friends at those concerts, but
Frank, so they got kicked out of a sevenfold pit in Cincinnati about 10 years ago.
That's awesome.
That's great. Yeah, they're nuts. But
I miss that
the
kind
emo
of stuff.
shows aren't that crazy.
Well, because you guys can't feel anything.
No. I remember, so this is gonna be lame, but
Oh no.
I went to a Dashboard Confessional show, and I was so disappointed because you couldn't hear him over all the like the teenage girls singing like at the top of their lungs, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, just shut up!" I just came to hear this musician play.
And you're like,
I was such a snob. I was like too old to be going. I'm like, this is where it ends. These shows for me.
So okay, so I
Downtown Detroit.
I went to a show the year before COVID happened, and I could tell that I had hit my expiration date. So out here we have a show
Daniel.
called Freak Night.
Yeah.
Right. And so all it is EDM, like Dead Mouse, like Steve Aoki, all those type of people, but it's the weekend of Halloween. And so imagine, just picture it's like Carnival, kind of like picture of that, but circus theme. And so I'm rolling in here, and then I'm like, I'm old.
Yeah.
I walk in and I was like, oh man, really? This just sunk in. Like, it's terrible.
The I was supposed to go see Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah.
September 11th in downtown Detroit.
Yeah.
Got canceled.
Yeah.
We went instead to see another show we were going to go see that night. It wasn't big enough that they canceled it. Like they were just like poor, starving artists that we loved.
Sure.
But they kept their show going, and it was in Ann Arbor here at the Blind Pig, and we saw Pedro the Lion and Damian Gerardo play, and it was amazing. Although it was like total, like you go outside and there's like barricades up like around U of M's like buildings, and like because we're like downtown Ann Arbor, and so it was like you're in a different world. It was crazy, but crazy. I remember I think that was the first time I had rum and Coke.
Oh, that's my jam.
Yeah, and I was okay with it. I didn't love it.
Yeah,
but I had to try it because somebody told me I had to try it.
Do you guys have you guys had they used to have one called Red Rum, I know it came in like a purple red bottle. It was kind of a fruity rum, but it was delicious.
No.
Oh,
And nutritious
I
in
know.
some way or another, but probably not.
I would do that with a cherry Coke or cherry Pepsi. Watch out. Them be fighting words in college.
So Joshua Gilson says, just got LRPs and 4-piece deep dish and Jora wheels. Should
Ooh.
get the wheels. If you flip the hex, you get an extra 4 millimeters of width. You get an extra 4 millimeters of gate hitting width.
I know.
You don't want that where we run.
Yeah.
Narrow is better, and that's why I like my scramblers.
Yep. See, I think that's why I'm gonna like these. They're kind of in between the
Yep,
scrambler
they're
and
not too
the
bad.
yeah.
What
But
are
what
they?
I
What
these
ones were those? You said it earlier.
these are the Enjora ones that look like the KLR.
Oh yeah.
They're like identical, just tiny.
Yeah.
But what I do want to figure out, I need to find some wheels to run. I was thinking about the Mofos, but I love the wheels that I've got, so I'm going to keep those on my rig. But I need a set of wheels for my son's rig.
So my favorite wheels are the NHX
That's what I'm talking
Nitro
about.
Hobbies brass ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I have
They're
one set.
beautiful.
Yeah, I have one set.
Oh, you sold me them. You sold
Yeah,
me on them, and
yeah,
they're the most amazing wheels I have.
hands down,
Yep.
super awesome.
Worth the extra $15 all day long.
Yeah,
Yeah, Joshua. Actually, the 4 millimeters width thing would be cool if you did it in the front and not in the rear. So leave it normal in the rear. Do the front and get the stability, because it's easier to get those front tires through the gate than the back is when you're really starting to. You have less control of that, but like maneuvering your fronts through. Dana, who wins all of our competitions, he did that with his truck recently with the wider fronts and
it's like a
narrow,
pre-runner
normal
setup.
rears. Yep. And he gets the stability of it, but it's easier. Those getting the front ones through is easier to clear than the rear.
Yeah,
So,
I have a question. What's your thoughts on that? So Matt did an awesome, and I say the word Matt like I'm buddies with him, but Scale Builders Guild, Matt
mhm.
did an awesome job with that Pro Line body, the pre-runner body that came out, the Chevy. And I don't know if I like that body or not. It seems pretty rad, and I want to do something with it, but I don't know. It's kind of one of those like is it a short? It kind of looks weird like a short course body, but really wide and stubby. But Matt's looks good.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I would do with Matt's. And by the way, it was a great
it
show
looks good.
when you were on the show last week. I watched it after.
XJ Sport 95 says, do it. I haven't gone back and watched it yet. I remember there were some really random jumps in our conversation, which are fantastic. I don't care. Like just like ours.
Yeah.
So it, I they're hilarious. I really enjoy talking with those two.
Yeah.
XJ Sports says make a pre-runner. I think pre-runners are so cool.
So my Lazarus is kind of based off a pre-runner, but it doesn't have a front IFS. They're out of them right now.
Yep.
Discontinued right now, unless you buy the whole RTR.
Are they redoing them?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I maybe had an Outcast 4S coming to my house in Virginia. We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sore spot for me right now.
Just saying. So the Lazarus is pre-runner style, and then my U419 is pre-runner style, where it's got the long travel. And then I have my Baja Ray that I haven't done a lot of video on yet. So
Which is a cool rig. You should.
I have video of it, but I had problems with it the day I went to go shoot with it in the sand, and I had too big of an opinion on it, so it overheated. And then I pulled the shocks out of the rods at the bottom, and so I couldn't really send it very hard. But I've got new shocks coming. Allegedly, they're coming, all aluminum shocks. So once I get those installed,
They might be in Virginia.
I know, right? I'm like, come on, where are these things? I hate that when it says we'll
That
ship
poor
in
guy. I mean, there's so many things that have been redirected. I mean, tax stuff,
Oh wow.
like all the affiliate stuff they didn't think about that have like tax information.
Yeah.
They've been really good about re-forwarding stuff, and they're actually trying to send that back. Like, if I were the guy, like, what do you do? Like, do you
Yeah.
keep it? Like, I just got this awesome box.
That's probably where
Do
the
I
checks were going.
take it back to sender, return to sender.
Yeah.
What do you do? So last time I had my neighbor send me something that got sent there, and it cost me a lot in shipping, $170.
I think that's what people don't get. They take for granted that these companies ship. I mean, yes, they have big bulk deals and all that, but it's not cheap to ship.
No.
It is not cheap to ship. I
So
just
I
ship.
probably will just be buying one when they come out, like when they hit
Yeah.
the stores. I'll just go buy one. It'll probably be faster.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something I'm interested in that for us. Again, I'm a single battery type kind of guy. I need to just buy a 6S
So
because
he
then I
won't
can
ship it
single
for you?
battery it. It'd cost me, I don't know. I mean, it cost me less than buying it, but
I
he'd
was gonna
already
say.
worked it. So
I was gonna say, give him my number and
my
I'll pay
neighbor
the
wasn't
shipping.
there because I texted him and he's camping. He's out of state.
Oh, I see.
And so, like, that guy doesn't want to deal with me directly, and
Yeah,
my
yeah.
neighbor's not there to grab it and take it back
Sure.
or take it and ship it for me.
Right.
And it's just an inconvenience that I'm putting on all these people, like, because multiple times now I've had to
I should
do
do a
something like that.
vlog and just buy the ticket and fly down there, turn back around and come back home, and it'd be like almost as a wash
Yeah.
for what it
If
would cost
gas
to buy
wasn't
one.
so expensive, I'd probably just drive down there and like do some videos while I'm down there with it and then just come back,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I have, one of the offices I work for, the company's is there, and they'd be like, hey, let's film some stuff while I'm in town.
Yeah.
I'll stay for the week. I'll film some of this truck. I'll film some of the stuff with you guys.
Right.
So
That's cool.
I don't know what's happened with it. I just know what was relayed to me by my neighbor saying, this guy texted me. He says he's going to just, do return to sender, and then they can work it out from there. And I'm like, okay, like if you could get it from him and I'll have it shipped, but he's not there. So it's not something I can do.
So I have two build concepts. And that's funny. Normally I wouldn't let these out of the bag, but I'm like, you know what? If someone else can do it and do it possibly better than me in a faster time frame, I'm putting them out in the universe. I want to build a pre-runner. The reason why I was looking at that body is I want to do a mellow yellow pre-runner like Days
Oh,
of Thunder
yes.
and just like full sends, like, oh, that would be so rad. So that's one build. And then another build I want to do is I want to do a night runner, an element night runner. And actually I would use the night runner platform for both of these, but the night runner I want to do and paint it all themed up and call it Scalar Things and put like the Scalar Things logo on the door that looks like Stranger Things,
Stranger Things. Yeah.
but do a rad light kit on it and make it super scale and just drive it at night. Dude, that would be sick.
I don't know why, but I just looked up and I saw your microphone sitting there, and it looked like a bottle to me with like a screw on top, the black part, being like, yeah, you would have like hot sauce or something in that. I don't know why. It just looked up. I'm like, why has he got that bottle sitting there?
Do you
And I'm
think I
like,
just drink hot sauce for fun or something?
yeah.
Or what?
Well, maybe the hot ones. We're gonna start, but
Let's, we should get the show sponsored by some like atomic hot sauce, and then we'll just take hot sauce while we're on the show and sweat it out.
yeah.
You're
You know
like,
what? I
that'd be
should
terrible.
plug Satisfied Jerky right now
Mm.
for Harley and Matt because I made the mistake of talking about Country Meats Jerky on their show, which is
I saw
sponsored by
that. Yeah.
Satisfied
They're
Jerky.
like, they're
Whoops.
like, and
Whoops. How many times did I get cut off on that show? 5?
I know. Yeah,
And that's it, guys. All right, we're
yeah,
done.
yep. That's
But no, I
awesome.
literally had them contacting me before they were doing all that sponsor stuff. And I was like, how does that work? Well, apparently they made it work.
You should reach out to Country Meats again, just so we can be like totally copying.
Yeah. And have like I'm
Yeah.
gonna replace your
My logo with
pinned
copy me. Oh.
30-mile donation thing with us country meats.
XJ Sports says, Trickle, my new alias. You want to
Yeah,
know?
Pablo Trickle.
You know what my son's race name is?
Yes,
You do know?
I do want to know. You said,
Oh,
"Do you want to know?" I said,
oh,
"Yes."
Rusty Farts.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, I'll allow it.
Yep.
Like Rusty Farts. I was like, all day long,
Yeah.
all day long.
Hey,
So.
JMRCs, what's going on? Pablo Trickle.
Oh, dude, that's my favorite movie. Top 5, easy.
Yeah.
Top 5. Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. I need to
Yeah.
watch it again.
Oh, bro,
It's
top
been a
5.
while. What's your top one?
Ooh.
We were talking about this with Reef and them around the. There wasn't a fire. It was too hot for a fire.
Yeah.
We were just under the LED light of the camper.
You know, it's really hard. I'm a movie guy. It's really hard to rank. Like, it's
It's
really
not for
hard.
me.
Really?
Not at all.
Days of Thunder's up there. I like 42. 42 is really good. Why am I blanking? There's a lot of go-tos that I have. Days of Thunder, 42. What would be another good one? It's all in that genre, well, earlier than that. I like mid 80s to mid 90s movies. Solid movies. I don't know. I'd have to scroll through to take a look. And I know it'd pop out at me and be
What do
like,
you think mine is? I bet somebody in the comments could get it.
Flying Cars.
No,
Oh.
that's like top 20.
Rad.
Top 20.
Rad's top 20?
Oh, yeah. It's classic.
Okay.
As a BMX guy, you got to like Rad.
Right.
For Connor and.
Oh, I think I told you about that. So XJ is talking about rebooting the 80s movies, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I went and saw Top Gun with the D-Box movies?
No, what's the D-Box movies?
D-Box is the seats that move.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
You said it was awesome.
Yes.
Everybody keeps telling me that movie's wicked.
It was really good. Really good.
Goonies is good.
Goonies is a good one, but it's not really.
It's just top 20 for me.
It's not top 20 for me, I don't think. I like
Slick Shoes. Are you crazy?
Joe Dirt. That's it. I like Old School. Old School's up there.
Oh, yeah.
Old School's up there. Anchorman's up there.
Anchorman's way up there.
Yeah, Anchorman's way up there. But I also like The Lincoln Lawyer.
Okay.
Movies like that, like real.
I just really like the new Marvel relaunch of all those.
Yeah,
They're funny. They're action packed.
yeah.
The one with Thor and Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh
Avengers. Yeah,
oh
the Age of Ultron. That was a good one.
Where they battle it out. I think it's a Thor movie where
that's
that's fight
Ragnarok. That's
Ragnarok. Yeah,
yeah.
so good.
Yep.
So much good in that.
Back to the
My
Future.
Little Pony, the movie.
Back to the Future.
No, it's Dumb and Dumber, man. Like I can't quote any movie more than I quote Dumb and Dumber in every single day life. Like I've watched that movie over 100 times.
Yeah.
It's not the best movie I've ever seen, but it's the one like that's just a go-to. Like
Yep.
There's just so many funny things that happen. And for like our era, like it was one that wasn't supposed to be anything. They paid nothing to make it, and it just went nuts.
Do you remember? Yeah, no, totally. What I was gonna say, do you remember being a kid, teen, whatever, and seeing RCs in movies and thinking how rad that was?
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember which movie it was, but there was an RC in a movie where they like drove it under a car that blew up. And like I remember there's a couple monster trucks in it. The new Ghostbusters kids movie has an RC and it's driving around the ghost trap. That's pretty cool. I remember seeing that and being like, oh, that's rad. So cool. Elf is up there. I'm a Christmas nut.
Elf
So,
is very good.
so in case you didn't know, I'll enlighten everyone. Hallmark Channel is doing Christmas in July right now, and I am wall to wall glued on Hallmark.
Have you watched the Grumpy Cat Christmas movie?
No, you
If
told me
you're a
about that.
Christmas nut, you got to watch it.
Okay.
It's dumb. It's like they make fun of it because they know that it's a Lifetime movie. I think it's Lifetime. And
So,
so they make fun of it for being like cheesy. Like they look at the camera and they call out like when they're doing their like
uh,
overly sappy crap. It's
uh,
hilarious.
I had
It's
a
got the
comment.
girl from Community, the
Okay.
really downer. She's
Yeah.
Grumpy Cat. What's her name? The one that dates
I don't know the names of these ladies.
what's her name? She's such a downer.
So it's so funny you said Lifetime because a couple of years ago I was talking to one of my kids' teachers, and this is Christian school teacher, and she's I was telling her how I have this thing for Hallmark movies, and she was like, "What?" Like didn't get it, and I was like,
Yeah, it doesn't seem
"Yeah."
like you.
And I was like, "Yeah," and I go, I don't mind the Lifetime movies. And I was like, "But they're a little sappy and there's a little too much like romance for the
Yeah,
Hallmark." And I'm like, I'm listening to myself saying that Lifetime's a little too racy than
yeah,
Hallmark. It's like I
yeah.
can
Aubrey
categorize it.
Plaza, that's who it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's in it. It's good.
yeah,
Robin Hood Men in Tights is good.
yeah.
Very good.
Die
Find the
Hard.
big rocks. I'm
Die
on the East
Hard.
Bank. I'm on the West Bank. Achu. So yeah, so those, but all of the Tommy Boy movies, or all the Chris Farley,
Yeah,
Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, all that
yeah.
stuff's just gold.
Yep, yep.
Like top 20. But
Did I
yeah,
tell
so
you?
I love those just like slapstick. It's all about like
Yeah,
well the humor, it's what do they call that?
escapism.
No, but the humor is just like it's all um what do they call that when it's like Three Stooges. It's all physical comedy. Physical
Yeah,
comedy. It's all just like
yeah,
getting slapped and rolling down hills and going nuts. Like,
yep.
check the specs on the rotary girder. Like the Tommy Boy stuff, man. Like we quote that kind of stuff all the time.
Oh
That
yeah,
and I got dibs on top bunk.
yeah, yeah.
The roof rips off in the snow, the hail, and then finally the bunk bed
Uh,
collapses. So much funny stuff, like
yeah,
anyway, I don't know how we got to talk that on the movies, but
yeah.
that was a good
Ooh,
thing
World
to
War Z. That's a
oh
good one.
yeah.
That's a good one. I'm bummed. They were supposed to make a second one. It never happened.
Hey
Tropic
Blinken.
Thunder. I, I
Hey
like
Blinken.
Tropic Thunder is hilarious.
I haven't seen it. Blazing Saddles I've
Ah,
seen though. That's funny stuff.
yeah.
Life of Brian. I bring you these 10 commandments. Oh gosh. That means just so many funny things. But
Yeah. Oh, you would know this. And because I thought I saw it on your back shelf in your old studio, and you might have talked about it before. Maximum Overdrive.
yes.
Solid movie.
Good.
Top 10.
Old school. Yeah.
Formative movie.
Yeah.
Made me scared of pop machines.
Yeah.
Super awesome.
Not me. I love pop machines. And
Soda
pop.
machines.
Got my Coke Zero here. Can't.
Uh,
I can't drink Coke because it gives me heartburn. I found that out I used to get heartburn as a kid and I had no idea why.
yeah.
Turned out it was pop,
You should do it with me,
Mountain Dew,
Tony.
all that stuff.
Cut it for the month. See if you can do it. I dare
Well,
you.
this would taste a whole lot stronger. There's no pop in it.
No, I'm saying cut your pop
That's what I'm
intake
saying.
for the month.
This would be a whole lot stronger if there's no pop in it.
It's all right. It's all right. That's how we dance.
Yep.
You should do it. I double dog dare you.
4S we talked about.
You're like, I'm not listening. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not cutting my pop intake.
I can't stop my Coke Zero.
Elf. I just read something. Speaking of Elf, that because I was trying to figure out what Will Ferrell's doing. Like, I know he's doing that TV show, but like, what's he been up to? And because I think he's fantastic. Like,
I thought
one
he
of the funniest
refused it.
guys ever. He
Yeah.
refused Elf too.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was because, and I commend him for that.
Yeah. I mean, because if it was not going to be good and worthwhile, why do it?
No.
The number Elf 1 was so good that,
Yep.
yeah.
Good feels. Good
Speaking of
feels.
Elf, something that I get confused with when I say it all the time is Alf. It's
Alf.
fantastic.
Yes. The
Yes.
alien cat
Yeah.
eating
Yes.
monster.
Fantastic stuff. So my kids and I, now that we're on this rabbit hole that just seems never ending, have started watching as of 3 nights ago, 4 nights ago. Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Some of the funniest things ever.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
dad is exactly like his dad. Like that was his just
Yeah.
all the time. That was his demeanor.
Yeah.
Hysterical, always funny, always laughing at him. My
Mhm.
mom was kind of she's you know, not quite like his mom, but
Yeah.
like that she's so over the top that for anybody to be that bad is tough.
Right.
So
Right.
my mom isn't like that at all, but my dad definitely had that going on. And so it's funny to just watch it and all of the stuff going on because
The
it hits
banter.
close to home, man.
Oh, yeah.
My wife is just like, this is you guys. This is you.
That's too funny. You know what my family has gotten into? And the whole family, like, we'll go downstairs, bring our food, and watch the TV. The Grand Tour out of
Mm,
nowhere. They just got
yeah,
into it. Like,
that's
and
good.
yeah, and
They're
I'm like,
funny.
oh, they're super funny.
They're so funny.
And I've
And they
always
got
watched.
canceled. Like Blazing Saddles would be canceled today. Yes,
Yeah. Is that why they got canceled?
Jacob. Oh yeah, they did some stuff on one of their things and got canceled from BBC. And Amazon's like, I know we can make money with you. We don't care.
Yeah. But I didn't know they're still doing it with Amazon.
Are they? Who are they with now?
No, I just mean I thought it was over.
It's
Maybe
over
not.
too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They got
But
canceled from BBC for
I heard
stuff that he said. Yeah.
yeah, I heard something like that. But oh
But
man, they
comedians
it's
and them, like, they always are saying stuff. That's what's funny is it's a little bit outrageous, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Comedy's gonna suck in 20 years unless something changes.
A lot's gonna
A lot
suck
of
in 20
people are
years.
yeah, a lot of people are sticking up and not taking it anymore.
I don't even want to get.
So
I was so fired up yesterday. I heard of people that are in our vicinity that were anti 4th of July because of what the government. I was just like, I started ranting. Like when you start like
did
talking
you
and then
notice
you're
the beginning of my video is very
yes,
intentional?
yes, my family, yes.
Very intentional. We
Oh,
choose
oh,
to
dude.
love
So
this country.
I started like I was making coffee or breakfast or something, and then I felt myself like when you start to like raise your voice, raise your voice, raise your voice, and my wife is like, "It's
Chill.
okay." Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, "Take it easy," and I'm like, "I won't stand for it." Like
Yeah.
I was just like, she's like, "The neighbors are gonna hear you." I'm like, "I don't care if their neighbors hear me." Like, oh my goodness, I was yeah.
Well, even the stuff in Chicago, that stuff takes me off. Like the people
Oh
are like that, first of all. But
yeah,
second, like what they want to blame for it. And like, so, the uncle was interviewed like right away. And it's like, he seemed normal. He said hi and bye when I came over the other night. And then you
yeah.
find out like today,
His
this kid
Facebook,
had
all
like
that kind of stuff.
suicide watch. He'd threatened his family and they took knives away from him. How the
Yeah,
hell did he have the gun? If
yeah,
they if the police knew about him, well, how was he able to buy that if
yeah.
they'd taken his knives and other weapons away because he was a threat? Like there's something way more wrong
Do you? Yeah,
with what the way we're raising our kids that they're just as
100%.
crazy as they are these days, man.
Do you feel sometimes, and maybe this is just me having some
And we're
experience
just
now.
solving all the world's problems in an RC show.
I know. Well, okay. So, do you feel sometimes that you want to sit back and tell these people that are just yelling this and that? I mean, Supreme Court stuff, all this kind of stuff, and be like, just take a breath. This stuff
Yeah.
works itself out. People will get level. I mean, right now, yes, things are swinging like this, and it's like, just wait because you're not giving it any time for anyone to come back and like try to level the playing field and try to
The
solve some
only
stuff.
thing that I like is that out of all of this, what should be happening anyway is they're putting the power back in the people's hands, and that's not
Yeah.
what anybody's talking about.
Right.
We now have the right at local levels to make decisions and vote on things that we want to see happen
Yeah.
that otherwise we couldn't have
Right.
before, because there's law of the land. Like
Right.
the overreach of government has gotten so insane
Right. And that's what
that, like, for
I'm.
them to give more back to us is always, I think, is better, because
Yeah.
now we can make decisions on it instead of 6 people we didn't elect or 8 people we didn't elect.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's 6, 9,
Yeah.
9
Well, and
people we didn't elect.
but that's what
Supreme
I
Court.
mean.
I'm just
Yeah.
throwing numbers out there.
But that's
Sorry.
what I mean. Like, just chill and wait for the pieces to fall, and then pick them back up and figure out what you want to do. And if you want to get out and vote, get out and vote. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I think is like, it's paradigm. And people just are like, I'm going to yell at my neighbor because I think their values are making this all happen. And it's like, no, 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 no. I did some research the other day, and I don't want to stay on this for very long, but I looked at what other religions said about what's going on in the Supreme Court right now, or what happened to the judgment. And so I looked at all that, because they were pointing at certain religions and stuff like that. And so I was like, well, what does everyone say about this at the core of their fundamentals? And I was like, it's kind of a common thread. I agree, giving it back to the people, all that kind of stuff. And it's hard because it's like, how are we supposed to talk about stuff like that being men? But
Yeah.
But I'm like, you can't pin it on one person or one group or one, you know what I mean? Like and to me, I'm just like, just take a breath, figure it out, go out and vote. And just, you know what I mean?
Pablo, what is a man?
I know. Oh my goodness.
Like, we've just
Oh.
gone like, yeah. Anyway, so as far as our C's go,
I know.
how do you feel about 4S vehicles coming back into the limelight after not being around for a while?
I like it.
It's like they lost their day and now it's back.
I like
And
it.
that's cool.
You know what I really, really like to see happen? I would like to see the cost of the batteries come down. Aside from a few Spectrum Gens Ace, aside from their like smart technology, it's all the same thing, I would argue. So technology isn't like just going crazy that these lipos have to be so expensive. And there's so many out there. I don't understand why the prices aren't coming down.
I mean, there's different grades, just like anything, right? Like,
You think
there's the
so?
outcast. Oh yeah, there's some of them that are like that don't make spec for certain companies, and those become like offshoots that other people get that don't quite have the resistance that the company requires to make it
Yeah,
into their. Just like anything, there's
sure.
that little bit of, but you're not going to junk those batteries. So somebody buys them cheap
Yeah,
and skins them and sells them cheap.
right.
So there's definitely differences in quality, but for the lay user, how does that
Translate?
translate?
I don't think it translates that big.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
okay, for instance, here's an example. I have 50C 3 like crawler batteries, 50C 3S, 80C 3S, and 35C 3S. Can I tell a difference in the C
one should
ratings?
last longer
Well,
because they're
yeah,
discharging differently.
I would say yes. But can I tell the difference like
And
realistically?
that little bit of power.
No.
If you're not a racer, I don't think you will.
Even
In a
racing,
crawler,
I change all different types of batteries in my race crawlers, and I can't really tell. The only thing I can tell is jumping and cell. So going from a 2S to a 3S or a
I
3S to a
still think some
4S.
of those guys, because they pump their batteries to get that little bit of extra, as
Yeah,
much as they can, and they run them warm and hot. Like those guys can tell the
yeah,
difference of what they get coming out of a corner,
yeah,
where we may not feel it or see it.
yeah,
I think certain people can,
yeah.
but to the normal end user of a battery,
Right.
I just prefer the tech that makes it easy for me. And so that's worth a
I
couple extra bucks
I
to
agree
know
with
that
you. That's why I excluded them from that, because I 100%.
The security that you feel knowing that
Yeah.
my batteries are going to be in storage mode if I don't use them.
Yep.
So, and the new, I don't know if you know that, but that new Gen's Ace battery does that, which is
Yeah.
cool. And the little button on it to see how much battery you have visually.
Uh,
How come
yeah.
we haven't thought about that 10 years ago? Like
I know,
our
like the
drill
GI
batteries have, right?
or DJI, the drone
DJI
batteries.
had it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Richard Mahi, he said he just got his first truck. What's 4S? 4S is a lipo battery. It's it changes the amount of cells in the battery to have more voltage, more power. And so we have like 2S cars, 3S cars, 6S cars, and there's a kind of middle lineup that's a 4S kind of lineup, which is interesting because they all go about the same speed. If your 3S
Right.
goes 50 miles an hour, your 4S goes 50, your 6S goes 50. It's just heavier, bigger, and making those heavier and bigger cars still go 50.
Right. So this is a 2S battery. And so there's 1 cell, 2 cell, and a 4S would have 2 more on top, or a 3S would have 3 of these cells. It's just basically a battery. It's like
Yeah.
having 3 AAAs or 4 AAAs or 2 AAAs. It's just the
Yeah.
amount of cells.
He says it's a super small Trailfinder 2, but next one's going to be the real deal.
Oh, so 1/24th.
Okay.
So I think those are all 1S.
Yeah, 1 cell instead
Yep.
of 4 cell.
Yep.
And you
Yep.
can run 4 cell in crawlers. I know some people that do. You do?
Race crawlers.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
I
know
don't.
people that run really slow motors in order to have
Yeah.
the torque
Yeah.
and then
30.
run
Yeah.
a higher voltage battery to have a little speed with it.
See, I can't. I maybe I'm just. And most of our trail rigs, they're all that brushed 8-turn. I
Yeah.
live and die by that for $20, dude. Okay, my son's been running that his U4 car, the blue one, the 245 car, running that motor probably for almost a year now and racing it on 3S, and that's a $20 motor. It's and now I say that it's probably going to blow it up next race, but for $20, oh, all day, dude. But like, I can't picture running. None of my setups, I don't think, except for one, would run a 4S in a crawler, like a slow crawler. I don't think I have a motor for it. You have to get a pretty stout motor to handle that kind of amperage.
Yeah. So Swamper's saying 24 scale TF2 is 2S. So this is a 2S LiPo battery. It's a little bit puffy because of being left way too discharged, plugged in for a while. But there actually in here are 2 cells, 2 battery cells being wrapped together by this shrink wrap basically around it. But yeah,
Ooh.
there's 2 cells of battery in here.
I
But
don't
this
know.
is one of the most puffy 24 scales I've seen yet.
How
I'm
okay?
keeping it
I'm
nicely stored on my desk.
I'm scared. Yeah, I know. I have a bunch of these here. So I just started getting some puffing in some of my cells, and they're old. Like
Hmm.
these are probably 3 years old, and I'm starting to get. You probably can't see just a little bit of puffing.
Don't worry about it then. When it starts splitting the case, worry about it. I mean, they'll bulge.
Really, that much?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know they'll bulge that much, but you don't worry about it till they're like
If it's
that.
just a little bit, like this is even just a little bit.
Can you see that one?
Yeah. I'm not too worried about that size yet. I mean, I don't charge them in the house at that point. I don't keep it in my house either. I keep it in a container,
Yeah,
lipo safe container in the garage. But
you're
I
like
just discharged of a few of them that were getting like cracking the case
oh
that I
wow,
haven't. They're probably like 6 years old,
that's
and
crazy.
they were left over discharged for too long, and that's
So
just
that's
as
some
bad as over discharged.
yeah, that's something that people need to know. Never leave your batteries plugged in to your car and just let it sit for
Keeps draining it. Yeah,
forever. Yeah, and I've had a couple do that where I'm like, I come back and I forgot to unplug it, and it's like
and put it on the shelf. Yeah.
it's all puffy, and I'm like, ah, that always happens.
Richard, what's the hazard of charging up in the house? Just old batteries. If you just leave them on and you just go to sleep with them unattended, there's potential of them catching fire. Just like they had that whole warning of lipo batteries on certain phones for a while on planes, and there was also those what are the little stand-on things? What are those called? Hoverboards that people were riding. They wouldn't allow those on planes because the lipo batteries in them could catch fire. I mean, lipo are semi-dangerous, but not. If you are responsible with them, you can avoid dangers of them. Like, I wouldn't normally leave this just sitting on my desk. I have lipo bags that I store them in just in case. Well, one, if your cat just were to come down and chew on this and open it, if any air hits the batteries in here, if it splits the casing, it'll ignite, just air.
So that's what I was gonna look for. I had a close call. Oh, it's way over there.
So
I had a close call on this last trail run. So it's the only thing that happened on my. Oh, that's a close one. Only thing that happened on this trail run. I don't know if you can see it underneath the car.
Hold on a second. Oh yeah, it's kind of worn.
Yeah, so it bounced out of the tray and was kissing my spur gear. And I was like, ooh. So I ate through the plastic and almost got to the cell membrane. So I brought it in because I'm going to tape it up and close that up and make it good. But yeah.
The Jeep and Realtor say leave some plugged in a day or two sometimes, especially on the smalls. It happens.
Yep.
I've killed a few batteries setting them on the shelf like that, though. Yeah. So if you were to leave it plugged in on like this small guy here,
you're still on full screen.
Yep, I'm going back. Like on this small guy here, if I were to just leave it plugged in and just put it on the shelf and forget about it, it'll just keep draining the battery. There's just enough little bit of voltage being used by whatever it is. It's drawing current and just discharging it. It'll swell up like this, and it can catch on fire, or it can just make it so it won't charge again.
Have you ever had a lipo fire on running a car?
No, I haven't had any lipo fires. I tried to make one with a gun in a battery, and it didn't work.
So we were at a race, and I have pictures of it on my Instagram feed. And the guy was running his car, and it started smoking, and it was out in the track, and the what's it called? What do you call the turn marshal went over to the car and it started pushing smoke out. So he backed off of it, and it just went whoosh, went up in flames. And I mean, there was big flames, big flames. I had to run and get my extinguisher from my trailer to put it out. It was intense.
Do you have a lipo specific extinguisher?
Yeah. So I take at my shop, I have to have a certain, I think it's like a grade C or A, B, and C. I don't remember what it is, but I have to have certain extinguishers, and it's cheaper just to buy a new one versus getting them recharged every year. So the old ones I just put in my house or trailer or whatever, just to keep them, because they're fine. Yep. It's kind of like a road flare going off. It is. It's literally like a
just stays going.
Yeah,
just
or like a
flame.
Yep, or like a fountain, like one of those 4th of July fountains.
Just blowing fire out of it. Yeah,
it's crazy, super cool.
We only got ours to smoke when we were shooting it with the 22. It didn't catch fire for some reason. Not recommending doing that or trying that.
They did the Mythbusters one where they put it in the because you're not supposed to throw them away.
Yeah,
and they put them in under compression, and they started a fire in the garbage truck, which is pretty cool. I miss that show.
Not for the garbage truck driver, but yeah,
it's exciting. I mean, it's not like the last time he picked up trash, right?
Yeah. Hey, Daniel Allen's on here. That's who I went to that show with. How funny is that? That's who I went to see the White Claw mosh pit with. 4th Thrice. It was a great show.
That's awesome.
Great show.
Says, not sure if there's a reason I shouldn't, but I wrap my soft packs for bashers in black Gorilla tape. I haven't had any issues with it. I wrap mine. So this one, I think I dropped it or something, and the case cracked.
Yep.
And so I was like, "Ah, I'm just going to peel the case off rather than getting water in there and letting it sit."
Yeah.
So I just peeled the case off and then wrapped it with tape, and it seemed to be fine. This one's definitely. Oh, here's another tip. If your batteries are not swollen, puffy, and they say low voltage, like you go to charge them and they won't charge because it says too low.
I wouldn't recommend how to do it for people.
No?
I never do. Because if something goes wrong, I don't want to be responsible for it.
Well, Tony
If you
told me.
forget about it,
Yes.
and it's charging on that and it goes, it's Pablo's fault.
Well, Tony told me how to do. No,
He's
just
not a
kidding.
friend of CCXRC, so
Never mind.
it doesn't play.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I know a guy that I hire.
Yeah. He charges them in NIM mode.
No. Yes.
No.
No.
Keaton Jorgensen wants to start a fight. He says ARRMA is the new Traxxas.
Oh.
Ready, set, go. We'll wait for the chat. It's about 30 seconds behind. I like this statement.
Yeah. I
I
don't have
don't
a
agree
dog.
with it, but
I don't have a dog in this fight. I guess I do, but I don't.
they keep changing their stuff though.
Who? ARRMA?
ARRMA. They keep coming out with new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use a lot of the same parts, but
Traxxas has
there's
crawlers.
difference. Like, and they keep like trying new things like handbrakes, and
Yeah.
they're trying to be innovative with it. They've
Traxxas
come
has
out with
crawlers.
on roads. Traxxas does have crawlers now.
Traxxas has drag cars.
Traxxas
has
is kind
boats.
of the new ARRMA because they just came out with a sledge, which is basically just like an ARRMA. But that's kind of reverse on that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Their stuff's cheaper by a lot.
Whose?
ARRMA's is a lot cheaper, so they're not like doing Traxxas pricing.
You can't beat the price of a slash, though. Those slashes are pretty inexpensive. 180. It used last summer, summer before.
But they're brushed and two-wheel drive. You can get a Sentin 3S for the cost of a two-wheel drive.
But it doesn't handle the same. It's not like a true trophy truck.
Neither's a slash.
Or a stadium truck. Yeah, it handles totally different. Yeah, it handles totally different.
I have two Sentins and I had a slash and I sold the slash.
Maybe I'm partial to the two-wheel drive stuff because
but it was four-wheel drive. So I had a four-wheel drive slash.
Yeah.
It just was a belly like.
Yeah.
I had to have all the MIP hop-ups, RPM'd out. It was like it was the Platinum series that was then gone. Like it was like an $800 slash, and we still only drove our Sentins.
Yeah. Well, I would say that the slash is, I would argue, more fun to drive on an actual dirt track than a Sentin.
Well, you're talking two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive, or
yeah, that too.
So that's a big difference.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. X-Max will always be king. Have you driven your X-Max again?
Oh, I love the X-Max. I do.
Have you driven it again?
Oh yeah.
Video?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lots of times.
Every day. Are you jumping?
Not every day, but quite a bit.
Are you jumping it off your roof or anything crazy like that?
No, not yet.
No.
We're still coming up with some ideas of what to do with it. It's too pretty though to really go crazy with yet.
Yeah.
But no, it's just awesome.
Yeah. Swamper says Horizon owns ARRMA. Yeah, I know this. I'm just playing devil's advocate because they have other brands doing drag and crawlers.
I just don't know what he means by with that. Like, why would they be the new Traxxas? Because they're not creating new stuff. Like, they're just changing bodies and calling it new colors, or what?
I would assume it means just because they're getting more mainstream. Like,
yeah, Traxxas, but they still listen to the people. That Traxxas doesn't. Like Traxxas, there's still a difference. It still feels homegrown to me.
Yeah.
Like Jason Dearden comments on stuff.
Yeah.
as the original creator of ARRMA.
Yeah.
He's involved in RC world, and he
Well,
wants, I don't know.
or
They're
maybe,
constantly modifying stuff that we say are issues. They're trying to, make changes where
well, I think from
I'd be interested to see what the Sledge does with everything now that's the
out
bent
there.
chassis and the broken shock caps and
Have
the
you
motor mount slipping, that whole new idea of a motor mount strapping the motor to the chassis, but it slides everywhere,
did you
destroys the spur gears.
have you been following RC propaganda? He's like
Kind of.
he's doing a
He's
lot of.
had so many issues with his, though.
I know. Well, that's what I mean. He's
He's
like,
dropped so much money on top of a $900 truck.
yeah, yep. He's doing a lot of
I
work to it.
People ask me if I'm getting it. I said, no, I'm just getting the X Max. Like,
Yeah,
that was my choice. Like, I've got this money. Nobody's coming out with anything like groundbreaking. I've wanted an X Max 8S for a long time, but there's always been something new to buy.
yeah,
That's like, I really should do this for, views and YouTube.
yeah.
And there just hasn't been anything. And it was just like, well, now's the time to get my X Max. So,
So would you? I know you've had the Arma, but would you do a Mojave or a UDR if you had to do it again?
um,
They're not the same. They're
they're not the
close.
same. For video, it looks awesome, but for overall just driving, so my Mojave isn't something that I just video all the time. Like, I just
Yeah,
take it out and drive it.
yeah,
If I just want something to just quickly rip around,
yeah.
it's easy. I can drop my batteries in, strap them in easy. I can open it up, just 4 body clips, and do anything I want to it.
Hmm.
It handles amazing. It doesn't roll over all the time. So for like the pure fun aspect of driving, my Mojave is a go-to. If I wanted to make sick killer looking videos with suspension moving, I'd do the UDR, but I'd probably have to cut every time I turn because they seem like they're real happy. And I say that, and at the same breath, I'll say that the Hammer Ray is the same way. I drove one of those.
Yeah,
Owen Rogers had one. And if you don't let go of the throttle when you're turning,
yeah.
you're over. Like, you
Well,
have to let off.
well, that's what I was saying. The guys that are running them in my U4 group or our U4 group
See you,
are
Swampers.
take it
See
easy,
you, Jeep
man.
and Realtor.
Are really into the suspension, and they tune theirs, and they can go hard into the corners, and they weren't rolling over. Now we were on kind of loose, hard dirt, if that makes sense. And they were able to power slide, but even the rocks, they were turning and giving it gas and going through, which I was very surprised.
Yeah.
So I think you can tune a lot of that kind of stuff out.
Yeah.
But I'm torn. I mean, because I really like them both, but I think I'm more of the scale guy
Yeah.
when it comes to the UDR.
Yeah. It
So,
looks really cool. So here's the one thing I'd say about Traxxas or ARRMA. I know what Horizon does. Horizon puts on stuff for the community,
mm,
events, flight shows, whatever. Like, they're very much about giving back to the community.
mhm,
Axial Fest. Um, they do East now, they do West. They've got Proline by the Fire. They've got all these things that they're doing that are
yeah.
Horizon RC Fest, and then the flight show stuff that they do around. That's not something Traxxas does that I've seen anything. They've not put on any events. They've not tried to pull together a crawler comp or a crawler get together somewhere.
They,
I wish ARRMA would do, like, if Axial's doing something, and why not have an ARRMA bash fest somewhere and just have some wicked jumps for
yeah.
people to come and just
Well, they do that though at like Proline by the Fire and at Horizon Fest. They have those big long jumps and all that kind of stuff, which is Arma centric.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's
So,
true. And they
um,
do have a bash area but they let anybody come. You can bring a Traxxas at RC Fest.
oh really?
It doesn't have to be a Horizon based product. It's just something they do for the RC
That's cool.
people. Because they
Uh,
race, they do a buggy race and fifth scale race, and they're not all Horizon products either. They've got
yeah.
everything.
I was gonna say the Traxxas is giving you a winch now when you buy the Bronco.
Are they? That's pretty cool. And they came out with that new 6x6. That's interesting. Like,
Yeah, but it's not for the people. It's not Wu Tang.
yeah.
So,
I mean, I've seen a lot of videos on it. Influencers seem to like it for
yeah.
videos and stuff.
They sent my daughter a banner. That's the only
That's
reason
cool.
why we have a huge banner for.
And I mean, I say this not having anything against Traxxas, honestly. Like, I love my Max. I love the TRX4. I think it's amazing.
Yeah,
I like the X Max a lot. Um, one of my top 5 trucks probably that I have is an X Max.
yeah. That's a
Um,
good point. Black Market saying Trax. Sorry to interrupt, but he's saying Traxxas sponsors things that have nothing to do with their cars, just to have the demo crew out there. And I've seen that at like off-road events and
well,
stuff
they're
like
trying
that.
to get new buyers. There's new market.
Right.
Like, go to actual truck shows or
Yeah.
uh, you know because they sponsor the big stuff like drag cars and whatever.
Right.
That's something else they could have is like those $30,000 drag events. Traxxas could help put on
Yeah.
a big drag event somewhere or work with somebody to do a Traxxas drag event. They got that drag slash now.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I'm not trying to say that they're not. I'm just trying to diffuse the comment from earlier. I don't think they're the same, and I think that they look at it differently. And I don't have a problem either with Traxxas saying, "Hey, we want to grow RC. We think it's cool. We're
Yeah.
investing in getting our name outside of RC in order to bring more people in." That's a
Yeah.
whole different way of doing things. So,
Right.
and it's not one is right or wrong.
Right.
Um, so
I really like what Mark Santa Maria did, and I really want to do that one of these days. Is that he did the RC summer camp? Do you
yep,
see that?
yep.
Oh,
I know. Yeah.
I would
Our
love to do that.
Horizon or our Hobby Town used to do those.
I would love to do that.
Yep.
Like just to go and like build a kit with a bunch of people and then go out and play with them. I think that'd be rad. RC Boys 619 checking in from
On the way to work.
San Diego. Do we know where the origin of San Diego
San
comes from?
Diego.
Yes, you stay classy, RC Boys.
Billy the Kid RCs. What's up? Dirk's back. Billy the Kid. So,
Yeah, no, I'm with you on all that. I mean,
oh, Black Market says dad used to drive around the demo team trailer to all the drag races when they were doing that.
mhm,
That's pretty cool.
that'd be fun. A whales dot 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 dot.
Yeah, the Traxxas Slash for sure is a bash beast. You can just beat it up.
Yeah,
In fact, our the 2-wheel drive, like you're saying, especially our Hobby Town, that's what they just have as a let anybody run it kind of a truck. Super
yeah.
good.
I really want to try the Pro 2. It baffles me why so I have the Pro 4. It's an animal.
Yeah,
And the Pro 2 is the same cost as the Pro 4 with the same powertrain, except it's two-wheel
2-wheel
drive.
drive.
And I'm
Yeah,
like, that thing seems like it would just be angry to drive one of those. Like, but I'd love to give it a try.
yeah.
It'd be fun to get 2 of those out there.
Is Keaton Jorgensen still in here? Does he? I'm curious why he said that. Just out of curiosity, not trying to.
Just to start a fight.
Yeah, he tried posted it and left.
Yep. He
MSM
said,
also does 4th of July parade RC cars. I did that back in Virginia
well, look at you.
with my American Force and Racing.
Ooh.
It was awesome. I wish I still had it. I'd have done it this year.
Is that when you just set up a camera and you just jump from radio to radio and drive your cars in front of the camera with music going?
No, but that'd be funny. No, but we just walk in our local little
Yeah,
neighborhood parade with it.
yeah. That's one thing that I don't get about the RC monster truck shows is when they do the parade thing. I'm like, I don't want to see this. Like, let's fast forward. I'm like, man, let's get to the exciting stuff. Like, I don't want to see it. But
Put RC with fireworks in there. Go
yeah.
crazy.
So
So I had people asking me several places why didn't you think to just point the Roman candles up so they wouldn't be shooting at you and
and you're like, oh yeah, could have done that.
because you wouldn't be able to film it. It would be shooting into the sky. You'd have to be so wide for the point when it actually does the report, the blow up,
Yeah.
it'd be in the sky 20, 30 feet. You wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
So that's why. And it looks cooler shooting off the back of the car, either the back or the front.
Yeah.
So that was the other idea I had, was getting a couple of them and trying to shoot each other with them.
That would have been
Like
cool.
have a couple cars running with Roman candles strapped forward.
Why didn't you do that? That
Well,
would have
because
been
trying to
way
light them
cooler.
all at the same time and then.
Come on, your kids can do a lighter.
But yeah, I'm like, upward is not. I mean, yeah, it's safer, I guess, but
I would have loved to see the front. Like, that would have been awesome.
shooting
Like
at stuff.
tank style,
Yeah.
FPV.
Well, I
Yeah.
was really hoping that there would be more cool, like, what I need to just get is some kind of like, next time I think I'll just do one of the ones that's like the light show on the ground, like the fountain,
Uh-huh.
and I'll
Jump
just
over it.
tape that to the top of it,
Oh, those
and
get
it'll just
hot
be
though.
shooting flame. Oh yeah, it'll melt the body. But it'd be pretty wicked just watching that, like as you're going through jumps and stuff, trailing off the back, doing fountains of sparks.
So is it Brian B. Kochner? You know this guy.
Yep,
Uh,
Brian.
it says that's the second good rec I've heard about the Pro 4. Dude, it is an animal. It is so fast. Remember, I had texted you and I was like, is this for real? Like, will this car actually go this fast? Like,
Yeah.
because I think I clocked it at like 49 or 54 or
Oof.
something crazy on 3S on the street, and it was cooking, and it handles. The only thing I don't like is the ESC. I don't think is programmable, and it's got one of those like,
The curve. Yeah.
oh, dude, it's like there's no like bottom quarter. It's like pin it to win it, 100%. But it's really fun. So
Yes, I like how Traxxas still supporting Nitro on the easy way of running them with the easy start system.
yeah,
Anyone could try. Agreed, Earl.
I really wish I could do it on a budget to get one of these T Maxes running again. They are so stinking expensive though to like revive one. It's not even worth it for me.
Yeah,
Like,
just have to get a new one.
yeah, I mean it's like, but I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Traxxas ARRMA doesn't matter. Need the competitive or competition between them to bring out the best RCs.
True.
Yep, and that's why I like that Team Crowley's in the market now.
Yeah. Yep.
It's good because it's definitely driving competition and it's pushing each other to make better RCs.
I don't know why we haven't seen any reels with the Skeeter out there with that skeet 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 song going. Like if I had that song, if I had that, that would be the first song I would do. I'd be like,
Well, maybe there will be one coming in the next little bit.
yeah.
Just gonna say.
All right, I better hear some skeeting.
I'll look up the Skeet song. I've never heard of it, but
I think it's the Little John from the Windows to the Wall.
there's supposed to be a Skeeter showing up here
Really?
eventually. I had phone calls today.
Nice. That's
So
cool.
yes.
I like that. You know what's the other one I like? The Mambo, whatever it's
Jumbo
called.
Mambo. Yeah.
I don't know
The
what it's
Jumbo
called.
is like their stunt truck kind of.
Yeah, the black one, black and green. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
that's a nice one. I want to see the Skeeter.
I like the Skeeter again because it's 4S and it's a single easy battery pack for it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of my jam.
Yep.
So been watching some videos on it, looking at some programming stuff to do with it. Some people don't like the brake setups and different things out of the ESC out of the box. So oh, ski. Oh, ski. I'm going to have to listen this up. Yeah.
It's
Look
probably
it
not.
up.
You'll have to, if it's a reel or a short, you'll have to crop the audio because it's probably not appropriate for your channel.
Oh,
but it's good. It's a good song. It'll work.
just play it on loop.
People will know what you're talking about.
It'll be a 5-second clip.
Yeah.
There it was.
Yep.
Yeah, at least you didn't try to blow it up like Sean did. I watched that video of Sean trying to blow up that 24 scale. He failed. These things are here to stay. They can't be blown up by fireworks. Not by stuff that people can get that aren't certified to handle bigger explosives. But this one's doing really good now that I can finally have the brass axles on it and the brass knuckles.
Yeah.
I kept breaking the plastic knuckles.
XJ Sports is now everyone's getting in on that song. To the windows.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness. Come on, Tony. I wish you could play it. Like I wish we could be Joe Rogan and be like, hey, who cares? Come at me, Spotify.
Now he's going to do an SCX 24. Ugh. Yeah, good. Even better luck trying to blow that up. He couldn't get the Enduro 24 to blow up.
Mm.
He's just anti 24 scale and trying to blow it all up.
Uh,
I'll tell you though, man, when you get them like that handle like these, it's just not the same. Like
it's not. Yeah. I mean, I agree. Yeah.
these are super flexy. I mean,
yep.
I don't even have springs on this one. Like it just sit it down. All I want it to do is go like this as it drives over stuff. Let them drop out. That's all I want.
What was that? Oh, sorry. I heard something. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'll close it in a minute. My neighbor was knocking on the door, and I'm like, "Who's knocking on the door at 10:40?" My wife's like, "It's our neighbor. They closed we didn't close our garage door."
Oh. Actually, I gotta close my side door and lock it.
I'll close it in a minute.
And I gotta put my camera back out there. I got a bunch of security cameras. I had to recharge one of them.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, it's the fun side of the country.
XJ's asking he's asking if we heard the acoustic version of the song. I haven't.
No, but you want to know what I heard today? I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch. Chinese food makes me sick.
That's
for
awesome.
the summer. For the summer. It's on at Buffalo Wild Wings. I took my boys out for lunch.
Do you guys have Dave and Buster's out there?
No,
you heard
I've never been to one.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like, I do, with the video games and all that.
Yeah, it's like a kid, like an adult arcade. Yep, I wanna do one of those. We saw a commercial.
That sounds wrong. An adult arcade. I want to do one of those. Let's restart this sentence by Pablo.
Do you remember
not an adult arcade?
Do you remember the show on MTV?
Along the freeway.
You remember the show on MTV called The State?
No.
What?
I stopped watching MTV after they stopped playing music. What's the point?
Well, this is around the time that it was like The State was on late night. It was hilarious. There was a guy named Uncle Louie. That's your homework. You got to look up Uncle Louie skits from The State because he talks. it's not appropriate for the show, but it's hilarious. It's he has a skit about wanting to dip something into something. it's good. Hopefully people know what I'm talking about.
Not look that up ever, because that'll just not look great.
Yeah.
The State was so good. RC for All says, I can't believe you didn't boycott MTV when they stopped playing music.
Wow.
It's not good.
I had to watch The Grind. Come on.
So they were Dave and Buster's in Virginia. I haven't seen one here yet. But we got these awesome places called Craig's Cruisers here. They've got indoor go-karts, laser tag, like the trampoline park thing, Ninja Warrior course, arcade stuff. There's a whole like restaurant too, like that does like a buffet. Like there's a buffet dinner thing you can do there. Like
sounds classy.
I'm like, man, I love Michigan. Just put a bowling alley in here and we're good to go, man. Although there's bowling alleys everywhere. Like you can throw rocks at them and you from one to the other.
Absolutely boycott the trampoline places.
Dude, they're just so tiring. Have you done one?
I can't. I physically can't. My knees would pop out and so would my hips. But when I coached competitive.
The dodgeball part's so fun though.
Oh, dude, I can't do it. Like when I coached competitive, like high school age baseball, we had in like 3 years, I think we had 2 kids that were going to D1 schools blow out their knees going and playing at those places.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope. I told all my players, I was like, you are not to go on those during baseball season. Sorry about it. That's just how it is. Like, oh, they're terrible.
Top Golf is awesome, Brian. But also not Dave and Buster's, Craig's Cruisers also has mini golf, awesome outdoor mini golf. And they have like those swans that you drive on the little mini lakes. And they've got like bumper boats with squirt guns and all this cool stuff. And batting cages. So
Swans.
we didn't have those in Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Any of that stuff.
I
But
miss
they had terrible mini golf. It's awful.
I miss
Down
old
by the
school
ocean
batting
front.
cages. All batting cages now are like for competitive youth
league.
sports. Yeah.
Yeah, like the big circle ones with the netting
Mhm.
and all that. And
Yep.
there's like,
It's like a circus tent.
softball one, and then you had
Yep.
like the 40-mile-an-hour
And it was
pitch.
down on a hill, like went
Yeah.
down. Yeah, we had those. We had one called Fat Bat when I was growing up. It was awesome.
We had a place called Pirates Park, which is a lot like Craig's Cruisers with all the cool, fun stuff.
Yeah.
But they got to have that kind of stuff in Michigan because the indoor side of things is when it's winter, you can go and do all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a self-contained fair, says Jeff Brown. It's wicked cool.
Complete with carnies.
So, like, that was the thing. Is like when we were in Virginia, I'm like, where do people go on dates? Like, what is there to do for fun? They don't go to the parks because it's too hot and buggy.
Yeah.
They're always empty. They have all these parks that nobody's at.
Yeah.
There's one bowling alley, and every time you call, it's league night. I swear it's always leagues. And then they had finally got Top Golf recently.
Mm-hmm.
And they did open a shuffleboard place down at the ocean front, and that was fun, like an indoor shuffleboard.
You'll
like
have
a bar,
to,
but there wasn't a whole lot.
So you'll have to look up a place that we did called Flat Stick. It's here in Seattle and this area, and we developed a game called Duffel Board with them, and they've since had other people build lamer ones, but we build the first 9-hole course in Pioneer Square, and it's like shuffleboard but tabletop mini golf.
Mini
and
golf?
then they do real mini golf. So like if you go to their website, like
you have a little pusher ball to hit the ball with, or a stick.
Yeah. Yep. So Pioneer Square is the one I designed and built all their course there. And then I did there's a huge Space Needle in all their pictures.
Yeah.
I just built that. I designed and I built that. I did their signage and all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty cool. And it's
Brothers in Arms.
And so what they do is
Flat Pub. Here it is.
Yep. And so it's all like local craft beer, and it's just an adult putt game place.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
There's not any good pictures in this particular.
That's really cool, though. The Space Needle is the one that's like my feather in the cap. That's the fun one that I did.
See if there's pictures.
Oh, there's pictures of it.
Oh, holy cow. Let's see if we can. Here, I'm going to bring it over here and share it.
So Pioneer Square is the one that I did all the work at, and I did a lot of work at Spokane.
So this one?
Yep, I built that.
That's cool.
It's massive.
So here it is with in the back.
The course actually spells out Seattle.
I see the SEAA. There's.
Yep.
That's cool.
Sign up for updates.
That looks like a pretty fun place.
It's pretty rad. Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Did you do their sign outside too?
Yep.
That has your Hallmark kind of look.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I need a sign for behind me here. I need to have one made.
We can make that happen, Tony.
So it's going to hang down from the ceiling so it'll block the door wall.
Be like Joe Rogan.
Ooh.
be the Tony CC experience.
I like it. Let's do it.
There.
Well, hey man, it's 1:50 here. I probably need to be looking at going to bed soon. We have Peter
Yeah,
Pan mini golf, BYOB. That's crazy.
that'd be cool.
Tony, you busy July 27th through 31st? That's a long window.
He's like, we're moving, and we need your truck, and for you to help us move everything.
Well, it all depends. I have a shoot coming up.
Mm.
Hopefully not that week, but the week before. But either way, my deadline is pretty tight on turning it around. So 27th. So it could be that I'm gone the 25th through the 29th. If not, I'm probably editing during that, but have some flexibility
Take it easy,
in
blacksmith.
and around it.
By the way, your chair, you need to get some WD-40, Tony.
Dude, it's squeaky like crazy. Can you hear it?
Oh, yeah.
Every time I move.
Yep.
I got
Over
Matt's
here.
chair, except it's not that cool and vintage. It's just. And right now I'm hearing a clicking like that when you have like internet, like from a phone interfering.
Oh. I don't have any of that. Nope, I don't have any of that. There's a few seconds
Going to
of dead air.
Wisconsin as I'm sponsoring the Straight Line Showdown drag race.
Ooh. That's cool. I still got to get into
know
that.
that I can go to Wisconsin during then. I can hear the chair.
Yeah. It's like a scary movie.
This mic is supposed to keep those kind of sounds out.
That's funny. Oh, I got it all.
It's bad.
I got it all. Did
I
I
stole
tell
this
you?
chair from my kids.
Did I tell you I figured out a fancy workaround on how to do my talking while I'm crawling, but filming with my iPhone and having the audio go through my earbuds?
Filmic Pro?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll allow you to choose sound.
Oh, dude. I
It's
was
game
playing around with
changing. The
it.
annoying part is you have to then
Remember it.
export it to, like, you have to go into Filmic Pro, then tell it to save 2 photos, and then
Oh, see,
delete it so you don't have it in double places. Or do you have your set up to go straight to photos?
I think it goes straight to photos. So because
all mine
popped up and asked me about that, and I was like, yes, because that's a
mine doesn't do that. I gotta delete it and re-download it because mine will store in Filmic, and then I have to choose like how I wanted to export the photos.
Yeah.
So
So I'm gonna play with that doing my crawling. I think I'm gonna change those crawl videos into more vlog style and talk about the like only have shorter ones that go, versus these long, boring crawl videos that I am posting right
you
now.
got to talk through. That was the one thing I was going to tell you. One, in the beginning, you need to just kind of turn the camera to yourself and say what the event is that you're doing, so people know
Yeah,
what the
I
crawl
know.
is.
I know you were
And
gonna say that. Yeah,
something substantive.
yeah. Rather than just getting right into it.
Yeah.
It's like read the
Okay,
description.
here's why we're doing it. Like,
Dear.
welcome to the trail. I'm here with my son.
Yeah.
That's who this is.
Yeah.
And he likes to talk. So he's like most young boys. Dad, look at this. Dad, look at that. That's how my kids are. I'm like, music, track up. My kids always are like, you can't use that, Dad. I'm like, well, I'll just mute it. And then I'll just be okay.
So
Because they get on me now. Like, they didn't want any of the running at the camera or any of
the
that stuff.
B-roll
I thought
stuff,
was,
yeah.
I'm like, this stuff's
That was
fantastic.
good.
I'm putting all this in there.
Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
They're like, no, you can't use it. I'm like, totally. You're wearing your funky American suit. You're going in this thing.
Yep. No, for sure. What was I going to say about the? Oh, so I'm keeping tally. So you know how sometimes if you go on like on an airplane or I don't know if you've ever gone on a cruise. It gives you
Once.
the manifest
Yep.
of all the stuff that was used. So I'm keeping a manifest of like how many milliamps we went through and how many, my son calls them bushwees, how many bushwees we've gone through. And he actually had to drop trowel in the woods on our last one. So I'm keeping track on all these. So it's going to be like a tick box on how many times all that happened. So how many trail fixes, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So that's the one thing I don't like about boat life is when you're out for hours and you're like,
Yep.
but I gotta go. Like
Oh, I have the best story.
I found a dock at like a park and they had a porta potty. I'm like, yes. Just ran that thing aground and just jumped off.
I have the best story that we can end on.
All right.
I had a 115, 120-pound lab mix, big black dog, like just awesome, like really cool dog. Love the water, love the water. So we're at the river and he was super trained, like he would come into me if I called him, all this kind of stuff. Way out in the water, and we're kind of on the shore, and there's like a bunch of girls down the lake there. And then all of a sudden I see him stop and I see his back feet come up and his front feet stayed down. And I'm like, oh no, you're not doing this. You're not doing
He's
this.
pooping in the water. Oh my
And then
god.
you could see it going down towards the girls. I was like, come on, come on, come on. Let's get out of the water. We're out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, baby Ruth.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's fantastic.
Well, it's big dog poop floating
And two
downstream.
guys talking about RC cars and movies and solving the world's problems tonight. And we're going to end all of that great discussion talking about pooping in a river. You're welcome, you guys. You are welcome. So,
Yep. Emmy nominations. Thank you.
yes, this is look out, Joe Rogan.
Yep.
Dog pooping in the water. That's going to come for you. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, Pablo, as always, a blast to sit and chat with you. Glad that you, I was kind of watching you this whole time, making sure you didn't look like you were about to fall over from poisoning.
There's a couple minutes where I was like, whoa, I
Yeah.
could feel it, but
Yeah.
we powered through.
For those that came in late, he welded galvanized metals. He had protection and all of that, but still got nauseous.
Still got to me. All right.
Scott Quick making a trip to Reaction this week are going to be there at all. Jeff will be there. I'm pretty sure. If he's not there, we got problems.
Yeah.
I need to try to get there because I need to run this truck. But my son's birthday is on Thursday, so we will not be at the comp Thursday night, which we're all bummed about. But he's got his cousin coming in for his birthday. So I'm going to try to get over there tomorrow afternoon. Something like that.
Black Market says drink milk. It helps. Not if you're lactose intolerant. I told my wife said the same thing, and I was like, I don't know which one. I was like, I don't know which one we want to be sick with, but yes.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, you froze up for a second there, so we're going to check out.
All right. I'm back.
Before he throws up. So,
yeah. Stay classy. Stay classy. Milk was a bad idea.